Ladies and gentlemen, XRP is pumping right now. We're doing very well. So for all of you that did not notice, we right now have gotten past some local highs and the XRP price is looking extremely good right now. I thought it would be worth to quickly open up a stream, quickly see how things are doing with 𝗁, because, well, it's interesting to say the least, all right? It is very interesting to say the least. Let me quickly take this live stream tab to the side. Here we go. Yeah. So I've been watching this for a few minutes, and it's pumping, right? Let me just quickly say it like that. It's pumping. After a long time of nothing. So I'm just waiting for a few people to hop on in. Here we go. Hog says we won't break 80 cents. Well, it's gonna be a little bit of a watch now, huh? Because it's gotten to a point where things are quite interesting right now. We've gotten past the prices I wanted to get past. This is the 15-minute chart right here. Right now you can see we've made a high that we've not made in a good while. And can you guys see it? I'm not sure if you can. There we go. And the way the prices are going right now, as I said before, it's actually at a time where Bitcoin is going down. XRP just keeps having these strange moves when Bitcoin falls. So right now, for example, Bitcoin is down on the hour, actually pretty significantly, really. But XRP is up significantly over the past few hours. So Bitcoin down 4%, XRP up 7%. Take a look at this top coin list. One of the only ones that's doing similar is like 𝗕𝗃. Right? But out of this whole list, every single thing is down and XRP is up. That's kind of funny. It is funny because it's how XRP always rolls for some reason. Just quickly posting. Here we go. Yeah, let's quickly see. We got a few hundred people in the chat. Guys, if you're here, just quickly put in the chat box where you're watching from, like always. Because we're doing good, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we are actually doing really well here. 77.3 cents. And we're pushing through. So from my perspective, depending on where we end today, this might actually, because this is the daily chart right here, this might actually be the moment that that XRP sets its run to $1. Depending on where we get today. Because this is what the day is looking like right now. I mean, it's looking a lot like back in the day where, you know, this is the last few weeks, right? This is from November 5th. It's up what? Let's quickly check. So from November 5th, it is up 57% in the last 11 days. So it's missed out a lot of the run where Bitcoin went crazy. But XRP is known for being a late bloomer. And at least now, it is starting to do pretty well, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we got a lot of different countries in the chat. We've got Netherlands, Poland, Antarctica. Haha, you a nice one, Willem NL. I got you, bro. We have Philippines, Colorado, Silicon Valley. Haven't caught you live in a long time on the Irish guy in Saudi Arabia, if you remember. In XRP since 2017, watching from the Arabian Desert. That's interesting. The dub in the desert. Nice. Scotland, Brighton, Norway, rejected at the top. Texas, Atlanta, North Carolina, UK, Germany, Tottenham, Georgia, Cali, Hello World. I'm not sure what that is. Colorado. Make a video on AOS. I hold a lot of AOS, but there's no real point in making a video. It's an AI coin. AI coins are doing quite okay right now. And I'm not so sure why AOS is doing better than the rest. I've not found anything. And I've not talked to the guys behind the team in a while, so I don't know. I can ask for an update, though, if you guys really want AOS. I can ask quickly. Okay. Netherlands, South Africa, fair enough. Indiana, Dubai, Scotland, Canada, Poland. We got a lot of people all in this place, huh? Wexford. This looks like a name from a movie, man. Malaysia, 230. I like Malaysia, man. I love Malaysia, actually. You know what? Malaysia is one of my favorite places in the world. Man, I like a lot of places. Most places, we're still pumping. 77.5 cents, by the way. Yeah. Let's go to the 4-hour. This is the 4-hourly chart for XRP. Let me see if you guys can see it perfectly. No, you cannot. Here we go. The last 4 hours, we are up what? Let's quickly see. Last 4 hours, we are up 10%. Last 1 hour. So, yeah, XRP is actually moving beautifully throughout the last few days. You cannot tell me this doesn't look beautiful right here. So since November 10th, we're up 40% or so. Looking amazing. So even though Bitcoin is down like $4,000 from its all-time high, We're doing pretty amazing on the XRP front. Let me quickly go check something. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, so even my, funny enough, my entire portfolio here is making a new high almost. We're like a few $1,000s down. Man, it's nice to watch an XRP pump though. Like, I can name a song here, but I don't think. But Bitcoin is falling. It's going below 89,000 right now. It's at 89,000.1. At the same time, XRP is on the come up. And by the way, let me quickly say that, ladies and gentlemen. If I've not said it in a while, let me quickly grab that little link of sorts. If you're looking to trade crypto and you're not sure where to do it, right? There's a place. It's called Blowfin. You can use it from anywhere in the world, as far as I know. I've pinned it right now in the chat box. You can use it from anywhere in the world, and you can also leverage trade if that's something you're into. So, for example, my XRP trade. Let's see for fun. Let's see. Do I have an XRP trade open on any of the stream accounts? Let's see. Let me quickly go check if we have any XRP trade open that is worth showing. Let's go check it out. XRP. Let's go find one. We probably have some. Let me just let me click through a few accounts, guys. We got something. We must have an XRP trade open somewhere. I know we have the main one, but let's see if I have one for the YouTubes. Do we have an account? Must have an XRP trade open somewhere. I found one. This one is not so interesting. Okay, let's look for another. I know I have at least a few XP trades open. Found another one. We have, it's me. Guys, press that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. I'll show you the trade. The trade is not phenomenal. I don't think anybody will be very surprised. But again, make sure you get to, we are at 70 likes right now. Let's get to at least 100. Right? We've got 550 people watching. You guys are a little midget. Nah, okay, man. I appreciate every single one of you for coming by, saying hi, whatever. But yeah, the platform, if you also want to trade. By the way, I'm going to do more on my Dusty Trades channel. Today, I'm going to talk about some of the memes I'm longing. And you might ask yourself, why, Dusty? Why are you longing? Because it works, man. I've told you before how much profit I make off of the most stupid of things. And so, yeah, it's just the reason I'm telling Blowfin right now. That's why I'm pushing it. It's the link is right there and pinned. It's because you can use it from everywhere. If you can't use Bybit, etc., which a lot of people can't use, because Bybit is my #1 platform. But if you can't use that, this one is really, really nice. And it took a long time, as you guys have noticed, for me to talk about that. Let me quickly show you all this trade. So it's not, again, I'm not, it's nothing particular, but it's something nice, I think, for you guys. So here we go. We have about $2,000 in this trade. I see. Let's quickly look at it like this. So this trade is worth $2,000. That's it. And we are in about $6,000 worth of profit. So let's see. Yeah, the amount of money we put in is $2,000. We're trading as if we've got $20,000 or so. We sold yesterday somewhere a little bit on the way down. Why? Most likely just to secure profit. Let's see. So I should have known that there was an XP position here because I actually sold on it. Most likely just to secure some profits as you're not sure if Bitcoin's going to continue on. Again, so we sold some on one of these candles. Not the most amazing, but not bad. Not bad. As still, I'm not so sure how much we sold, but still a lot of money. A lot of money is in there. I guess we cashed out like $200, right? Maybe some more for funding fees. But it was 58 cents that we opened it, so it must have been like a few days back. I can't remember, guys. I'm having too many trades open. If you don't know, I have so many trades open, it's ridiculous. That's why I said, do we have an XRP one? And also, as you guys might realize, a lot of my portfolio is XRP. So, yeah. I mean, I'm right now, I'm just checking the portfolio here real quick. It's actually one of the highest points ever. I think if this sets through, if XRP goes up like 1% more. Okay, no, never mind. It fell a lot just now. I think maybe because of Bitcoin. If XRP goes up 1% more, then it's making a new all-time high. because XRP is still a pretty big part. It was like, I think like turned down to maybe 10, 15% before. But the moment it goes up, it boosts the portfolio by a lot because Bitcoin is still quite stable. It's at 89.3. It's not too bad, right? Anyway, I hope that the moment that XRP breaks through here, there's going to be a pretty quick burst all the way towards the $1 mark, maybe even higher, right? Because I mean, XRP is always that late bloomer. But if you look at this chart right here, we just look at the last like few years, year and a half, from July 2023 to now, right? There's almost nothing keeping us back here. Right now, we're at the threshold. Now, yes, if you look further back in 2022, there was some more action, but realistically, the majority of the action is above us, right? For example, towards this range here again, towards the 88-cent range is where things, in my opinion, get more and more interesting. So right now, I just have a long position open, and I have it for almost anything. There's some people opening shorts. Some people show me their hedges. Some people are saying that this is where Bitcoin falls down, yada, 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 yada. I think there's one good reason to have a hedge open, and that is to protect all your gains. That means you have a short to keep everything safe. For the most part, though, it's a bull market right now. It's been confirmed on every front. I'm not sure why you would short it unless you really, really know what you're doing. I think it's easier to just full long everything like a maniac. And as long as your risk management is okay, it's kind of hard to lose here. Like I just told you, I blasted the top for Pepe. I blasted the top, like full on force. Why did I do that? Not a lot of money, but why did I do that? Well, because I realize also that if Pepe just got listed on Coinbase, well, the last time, let me quickly see if I can find it for you. The last time a meme coin got listed on Coinbase was probably Shiba Inu, right? You know what happened after Shiba Inu got listed, ladies and gentlemen? Over the next 7 weeks, it did a 13x. And I kind of had that in the back of my head for our WIF and Pepe here as well, that even though it might not go up immediately, given a few days, maybe a week or two, that it would most likely do extremely, extremely well. And, well, Pepe is not really doing the job, but it's up. At least since I blasted the top, it's still doing... Oh! Do you know that mantra is one of my biggest bags? Whoa! Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, I didn't even check that portfolio. Whoa. Guys, this is interesting. So I hold a frick ton of mantra, 𝗂𝗧. Okay, 𝗂𝗧 has actually gone down a lot the last little while because you can see the month has not been good for 𝗂𝗧. So this one is like a redemption rally. So screw 𝗂𝗂𝗧 actually. Brett, as you guys know, I hold a frick ton. Hedera, unfortunately, I hold. I wish I did not because that one has been garbage. But mantra is nice. Oh, that is amazing. 30% up in a day. I sold like a few $1,000s yesterday. And I was like, okay, let me sell some. But I didn't. I was like, nah, never mind. I won't sell anything. So luckily, I only sold a few $1,000s. Imagine I sold my whole bag, huh? Oh, it's up 30% today. That is amazing. Because again, it's been lackluster. 𝗂𝗧 and mantra have been doing nothing the last little while. Finally, another move in that. Today has actually been a rally for all the useless ones of the run. You know, so coins like XRP, coins like XRP, 𝗕𝗓𝗪, they've all been kind of wacky recently. Notcoin, Litecoin, all of a sudden they're having a redemption rally today, huh? Well, Litecoin and Not, etc. are not doing too crazy, but hey, let's quickly see. Is the stream still okay, guys? We still good, everybody? Just say yes in the chat if you can see everything, if we're all good. The Don says, the song Pump It Up, you gotta pump it up. If we go ever so slightly higher, I'll do that. But right now, it's we're in an okay position. Okay, Randy says yes. Thank you, Randy. Bike Fit says yeah. Okay, Hamza says yes. Derek says yes. Okay, John, everybody says yes. We're good. Okay, that's good. Sometimes I gotta ask that because like I could be talking here for a little while and maybe I cut out like half an hour ago. Nobody could see anything. Or the quality is not good. But then if nobody lets me know, there's no way for me to fix it. Somebody says, what do you think about whatever coin? I put $1,000 in it a while ago because of an article I read off Google. Kind of went into it blindly. I've never heard of it before, my friend. Whatever coin you're mentioning right there. So it's well, it's like a coin flip. Maybe do well, maybe not. Reclame. Oh, let me turn that off, my friend. Let me turn off the ads. I got you. There we go. I can do ads manually, so they won't come. So there we go. You want to know a fun fact? That ads, this a lot of people don't know. You know that ads on these streams of videos can't pay for anything? It's like $300, maybe, yeah, as an example right now, $300 a month, maybe something like that. So it doesn't really matter if it's on or off. On a stream like this, I think, right, you might earn yourself $30 or something like that. So it's definitely not worth the time if it's going to be like half an hour or an hour. But it is kind of funny to stream. Oh, but I meant so I can turn it off. It's not that big a deal. It doesn't make a difference, I think. Anyway, so somebody says, what do you think of Mu? I hold Mu. I got Mu. What do you think of... We are losing steam. Man, you know Bitcoin is falling hard right now, by the way. Like, if you want to compare just for fun, this is Bitcoin's chart of the last day. Let's go 4 hour. So Bitcoin over the past few hours, right? Let's do it for fun here. Let's quickly compare the two of them. So we've got XRP on the right, Bitcoin on the left, right? Let's go auto on both of these. Here we go. There we go. And there we go. So the last few hours, let's see, in the same time span, go check. Let's see. So since 5 p.m. yesterday, Bitcoin is down 4.3%. Since 5 p.m. yesterday, that was a really high point for XRP. So I guess it's not amazing. It is up 3.2%. So in the meantime, while Bitcoin from that point forward has been going down hard, XRP has been going up a little bit. And then again, my timings here are not too juicy. Because if you look at the general trend, Bitcoin over the last day or so has been going down from its peak to bottom. It went down roughly 6.something%. And XRP from the bottom yesterday to the peak right now has been going up 15 or so % in a day. So, peculiar. I mean, Bitcoin has been playing with our emotions a little bit. Going to 93.3 thousand yesterday. Actually, matter of fact, it went to like $92,000 today as well. All of a sudden, though, within a few hours, it fell down really, really hard, all the way towards 87.5. And XRP really has been mostly going up with no big dips since, last night. Last night, it ended at 66 cents point something. Right now, it's at 76 cents. And people don't realize that you can make retiring money moves on moves like this, right? You can, for example, like I said before, guys, I have the freaking strategies, all right? I've been telling y'all, if you want to make crazy amounts of money in crypto right now, you want to make a crazy frick ton of money right now, you want to make retiring amounts of money right now, listen right now, all right? Listen right now, everybody. Listen right now. Let me tell you, all right? Let me tell you something, all right? Let me tell you something. Let me go and sit in position to tell you this. So, if you want to make, I should be in extreme, most comfortable position to tell you guys this story. If you want to be in, there we go. All right. If you want to make, why am I so black? I should put up more light. I have the answer to that question. If you want to make a ridiculous amount of money this cycle, it's going to sound really dumb, but you got to be a bit of a degenerate, which is why I'm putting footies out, fully crazy here to prove to you guys, you got to be a bit crazy, all right? You can see my food is still here. I was just eating something. And then I noticed the price was going up. I'm like, you know what? Let's go do a little bit of a stream. Many of the people will click away. That was the point. Because they're way too serious. So hopefully those guys are gone. Now let's talk serious business. In a bull cycle, for the most part, every single time you buy a dip, you have a little fear inside you that says, ooh, maybe it's going to go down further. You got to get rid of that fear. In the peak bull market times, which is about a year. Okay, there's three phases. Three phases. We've got ourselves a little accumulation phase. We got the growth phase where things go crazy, right? The gain phase. And then the fall, right? We've got the accumulation phase done out of the way. That was basically everything until Bitcoin set this new move from the 70Ks upwards. That was when the accumulation phase is done. Right now we're in the growth phase. And this is basically, okay, so accumulation phase number one, middle. You buy some dips. Ooh, maybe it works, maybe not. You don't really know because a lot of coins go sideways for a while, maybe slightly downwards. What Bitcoin slowly but steadily raises, which it did. Phase number two is everything goes up. There's a few parts of that phase. One is generally Bitcoin going up, gaining on dominance, going up over time with some dips in the way. And then there's the altcoin season where everything goes up almost every single day by such crazy margins that if you sleep for a day or so, you're like 40% behind because everything's up another 50 or 80 or 200%. We're not there yet. We're in phase number one of phase two. That is the phase where if you buy dips of any coin, Bitcoin, an altcoin, whatever, you'll probably be up a good amount tomorrow. And this has been true for a while. For example, anywhere we bought the dip for Bitcoin, just today, just yesterday, whatever, we bought the dip, right? We bought, let's say we buy every time it goes down 5% and we buy. It doesn't really take long for it to go on a relief rally. Yesterday we hit an all-time high. Today we didn't yet. But let's say we took this top, right? And we're saying, hey, you know what we're going to buy? Maybe you should put it as a less, right? We're going to start buying once it goes 1.5% down. And then every time it goes down 1.5% from there, we keep buying. Yeah, we keep adding. Then maybe the lowest price we would have bought at was only, for example, 88.7. Well, in the middle right now, perhaps because of our average strategy, our average price was now 89.3. And maybe in the midst here, we were able to cash up for some profit really quickly afterwards. But also, I think if we just wait a few hours, right, maybe slightly longer, maybe a day or two, it's going to go up from this bottom, most likely either towards all-time high or close to it or whatever. And if we just keep on buying our way down, it's going to be fine, because take a look at Bitcoin's chart. It's kind of hard to lose in the grand scheme of things here. And this is actually quite true for almost any altcoin here. I'm not your financial advisor, but I am telling you right now that this is the best strategy for bull markets to make such tons of profit. Wait, why did somebody say Dusty has nail polish on? No, I don't. Or are you talking about the feet? Somebody says, why is XRP pumping? My friend, XRP always does this. XRP always goes on a crazy rally after the rest. So maybe you're new to the family. Les, I'm making you a moderator, by the way. You've been around for so long. Hey, which one of you guys watches the streams like often? Because we've only done a few this week, but a lot of people I see in the chat here are kind of new. Like many of you guys have never seen before. But definitely if you guys are sticking around, just say yeah real quick and I'll remember them names, right? For example, Lassa, you've been around for so long. Many of you guys have been around for a while, I bet. When did you guys get into crypto? What year? I kind of wonder. Somebody says I went to a Diddy party. What? Anyway, but yeah. So we're waiting right now, if you're wondering, for XRP to just basically solidify its move. Perhaps this can be done over on a 4-hour chart already. I mean, if, for example, now over the next few hours, we close this above the threshold, which is the, let's say the 75-cent mark or so, I'm already actually getting quite bullish here. Specifically because Bitcoin has been going down and XRP has been going up. We are in a very, very nice spot. Let me quickly open up a XRP to Bitcoin. For example here, let's quickly go the theme. Okay, it's not working. Okay, maybe it's the wrong one. This one. There we go. So if we take a look at XRP versus Bitcoin, for example, you can see that if we take a look at the last few hours, most likely, yeah, it's been going pretty freaking well. So ever since we did our stream like 2 days ago or so, you can see that XRP has been on the up and up, especially versus Bitcoin. Right now, in the last 2 or so days, if you had bought XRP versus Bitcoin, you'd be up 30%. And many people fail to realize this, that at some point in the altcoin season, or maybe even just in phase 2 of like I just described, Bitcoin is not the best to buy anymore. Like right now, for example, ETH and all those are kind of garbage. And it's been mostly meme coins that have really done well. But, oh my days, Mantra is killing it. Wow, the last hour has been really explosive. Regardless, at some point, really, XRP and all these other coins start to take over again in just being way more worth it than Bitcoin. And right now, we've seen that for a little bit. And this always happens to XRP. At some point, it just starts doing well when Bitcoin does bad. XRP is a weird coin like that, guys. It is a weird odd. It's an odd coin. Anyway, I will say again, if you're looking to trade crypto, check out the link to Blowfin down below. It's the exchange I'm using for a lot right now, mostly because it's available everywhere in the world. Some of you guys get into crypto in 2017, huh? If you watched the channel since then? If you remember, I had a lot of fun videos back in 2017 as well. We did some crazy cool stuff. Man, back then, I was even way more crazier. Right now, man, the more you get into crypto sometimes, the more you're scared you get. Because now you got money to lose, so to speak, right? Sounds kind of crazy. But a few years back, if somebody texted me, but this is also, man, a few years ago in crypto, you had like 6 meme coins. You had all these stupid ass ones that everybody knew about. Right now, you got like 10,000 new ones every single day, man. I mean, XRP, think about this. They had no product, almost nobody knew what they were doing. And people like, oh, XRP has to go to millions of dollars a coin. I remember the times. People believed in the Riddler. Cardano the same. It had nothing going on for itself. And people bought into it crazy. I mean, there were so many coins like Neo. I don't even know what the name was before the swap. EOS with the biggest ICO ever. Pure garbage. I'll say it out loud. I don't even know what EOS does nowadays. It's not done anything for years, I think. People are going just aping into everything. And this time around, we are aping into things still, but the meme coin culture has changed so much. The hype, cult culture, everything for our main cryptos has changed a lot in this time span. And I'm not sure what was more fun. Back then, you had a lot less to choose from. So now there's so many more coins. It becomes way more difficult. Yeah, the no face days, of course. Back then I didn't show any face because when you get into crypto, you're like, oh, nobody can ever know about this. But then as the years matured, I moved to Dubai. I'm like, you know what? It's actually kind of funny. Spencer says, I remember watching you for a while, but I just started watching again 3 or 4 months ago. Wow, that's cool. Good to see you back. A lot of people, by the way, have joined like just this last 2 weeks or so. Again, if you're not done it yet, we've got 800 people watching. Make sure you go ahead and press that like button on this video. Or stream, I should say. Why not? We've got already 2,500 people in total that have watched. So make sure we get this likes to at least like 400. Why not? Right now, again, if you're wondering, what I'm willing to do, by the way, I could even right now, guys, this is going to sound so stupid, but if I didn't already have my XP position open, I'm going to tell you guys something really dumb here, all right? What I would do, and this is going to sound dumb, but bear with me, in a few days you'll understand what I mean. What I would do if I was new to trading, I didn't know. I would buy anywhere. And this is the dumbest point to buy, theoretically. But then again, I'd buy anywhere. Like, for example, right here. I buy right now today. Then, if the leverage is low enough, or if you're just buying it on spot, I just buy my way down every single time it goes lower. Why? To get your average price as low as possible. But I wanted to get a position because I don't like people. Okay, I don't like people in general, maybe. But generally speaking, people come to me and say, hey, Dusty, when should I buy? And I always say, buy immediately and then buy your way down lower. So at least you have some exposure to it. Because I'd rather have a bad entry on the spot towards, $5 in XRP than have no entry at all. I'd rather, for example, make my first buy be 77 cents and it goes to 60 cents first and then to $5. Then I'm waiting to buy at 70 cents. I'm waiting for 60 cents. It never goes there. It just keeps going up and I end up never being able to buy. So I always say, get into it anywhere. This is about any crypto for that matter, right? Not only XRP. This is just a specific example for today. I'd buy right here. I'd wait for the price to come back lower. For example, 70 cents, I buy again. I wait for the price to come back lower. For example, whatever this previous point here, let's say 63 cents or so, 65 cents. I buy again. Why do I do it that way? Because that way my average price keeps going lower. I don't have to spend all my money at once, but it's just so I have some exposure to the coin. And even right now with my long, the only problem is that my average price is 58 cents. You can't perfectly see it. And I kind of don't want to mess that up. But I personally, 1,000, you might get screwed for a little bit because XRP can go as low as 50 cents. So you might lose, 40% of your money overnight, 2 nights. It happens, even in bull markets it does. But generally speaking, for all the tops I've bought over the last few days, most times you're fine. And again, with WIF, it didn't work out well. I bought some WIF yesterday, or the day before, because of the Coinbase listing. I got screwed. I lost like 50% of my money in minutes. But then I bought 4 or 5 coins. The other one I bought the same time, like an hour before, was 𝗵𝗵𝗄. 𝗵𝗵𝗄 is right now up like 300% since I bought it because I had a long position open. So it kind of evens out. Some of the coins you buy might not be winners. And again, people look at this and think, Dusty, you're so stupid. But just keep watching this, right? Very soon here, you'll see that these targets I've put here, if we were to buy right there, right now it's up a little bit, but let's say we were to buy right there, eventually, over the next few days or so, I'll keep this in here. We'll talk over the next few days as to see how much profit this would have been in if we just open a strategy of, you know what, we buy once. If it doesn't work because the price went down, we buy again at these crucial supports, for example, on the short term. This is just a few hours though. Because I do believe this strategy is golden for bull markets. Again, in bear markets, you'll probably get screwed. This is not wise. But in a bull market, this is the absolute best way to make profit. If you don't agree, then let me know down below what your strategy is. Because the only other thing I could think of is buying every really deep dip, so to speak. But I personally think that this works way better because this way you get exposure, like immediately. Somebody says, can it go to $100? I'm not waiting for that. It could, but I'm not waiting for that. It's way too high, bro. And again, if you're also looking to trade, platform I personally use is Blowfin. The link's in the description and it's pinned somewhere. And once more, let's get those likes up to at least 400. We've got over 1,000 people watching right now. We should be able to get at least to 400 likes. Let me see real quick. All right, guys, press that like button right now. Let's see how many we can get. Because if there's 1,000 people watching, we should be able to get to like 1,000 at least. So can we get to 400? It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just to... Are we still here? Why does it say no date? Oh, okay. So the last time, guys, the last time this happened, my channel got banned. So I was like, oh. The last time it said no signal, it was because I got an email that I got banned from YouTube. So I was like, no way. They just screwed me again, but they didn't. We're lucky. That was an interesting one. Yeah, okay. So we got the 350. Some of you guys are scrounging ones. Huh? You really are. You want to keep those likes to yourself. I'll earn it one day, though. Just wait, all right? Just wait. I'll earn it one day. Someday I'll come back to you and you're going to give me that like. But I'm patient. I'm a patient man. I got time. I got time. So yeah, but that's my XRP strategy. If you're asking me where do I set targets for XRP, man, I sometimes think I should talk less about this and just wait for more to happen. On the opposite side, XRP is up like 50% or so in such a short amount of time, and people are still complaining. Let me just show you here. In such a short amount of time, and people are still complaining. People are just unsatisfied. But 30% up in 2 days is quite huge. And thinking about the fact that XRP always does well after Bitcoin, if you listen to my strategy, if you are not ignorant and just listen to what I always say, I said before, sell everything for only Bitcoin and then buy altcoins later. Now, on some occasions, that would have been done. If you were holding SUI, for example, you might hate me right now because SUI did a 6x and Bitcoin only went up like, like 200% or so in the time. But we were very, very right that Bitcoin is king first, which it still is right now, and then altcoins go later. XRP is doing well right now, but it's already after Bitcoin went from like, whatever, $30,000 to $90,000 in the same time. And XRP is doing well now, but it's late. So what we lined out the last few months has been so extremely correct. And many people are like, no, Dusty C, if only XRP, blah, blah. If you were holding only XRP, you were dumb, ignorant, stupid, whatever you want to call it, because it does. Every single time it works in the exact same, I'm lagging, same way. I've said this so many times on the channel, I want to freaking pull my hair out. That Bitcoin goes on a freaking first, and then altcoins. It's textbook, happens the exact same way every single time, yet people think they can do better. You can, but then you're literally throwing up a coin and thinking maybe. But if you were betting on Bitcoin first, you'll go for Bitcoin first, you'd always be fine because Bitcoin, there's almost no way it's not going to do well. And right now, that Bitcoin is at 90,000, 100,000, whatever, we can look for these altcoins again. Even right now, still, I'm a little bit mediocre over altcoins. Bitcoin still looks juiciest. Only if you get a good deal am I really, really happy with altcoins. But they're starting to look better and better because of the meme coin season, which has been taken over. Because memes here have started to do really, really well. And so perhaps it's time again to really start getting into it. But it's an interesting one. Everyone liked to promote XRP FS. So the thing is, guys, you should hold whatever you want. You don't think you should be married to anything. If you want to sell all your XRP for Dogecoin right now, I mean, as I said before, I think over the run, XRP will probably see $10 plus if nothing holds it back this time. Dogecoin will probably go to $3 plus, in my opinion, right? Let's go over it real quick. I put some of these predictions already out on the channel, but I'll say it again, right? If you want more predictions, go watch the video I just made because there's one on my channel right now. But let's go over it. So Bitcoin, probably 150 to 250,000. Very long range, but I do believe we're going to go to at least 130. That's my minimum for Bitcoin. So 50% up from here. Ethereum, $12,000, my target, 4x from here. It's just where I think at minimum it's going to go. Solana, minimum 1,000 is my target. BNB is a strange one. It's been so stupidly bad the last few months, and I have a lot of BNB, all right? So I'm kind of biased. I wish it to do well. CZ is back in town, but they've not had any announcement or nothing. Then again, BNB always goes gradually up, and to be honest, even in the March, April area, it went up really, really fast, really steadily, $1,000 minimum, but there's a good chance it's going to even go to $3,000, just go crazy. But I do wonder what's going to be the push for it, though. What's going to be the main reason? Once the retail comes back, though, and they all start using Binance, etc., there's a good argument to be made. Dogecoin, $3 I hope for, $1 minimum. is my target. So 3x from here is my minimum, $1.20, let's say. But I'm hoping for a $3 Dogecoin at the end of the cycle. I don't think it's too weird. XRP, as I said, $10 I'm really hoping for. I don't think it's too weird. But yeah, I kind of feel as if minimum $12 is necessary for me to have a worthy time. Cardano, that's a fun thing. $3 is my target. It's been for a while. But I'm starting to look more towards the $4 to $6 range. Tron, I kind of hate Tron in a lot of ways. But I'm also not too surprised if it goes like $3 plus in this cycle. Justin Sun is a master marketer. And he's quite rich and influential. He can do things, right? But I'm not really holding Tron anymore. So if I don't get a good deal on it, it's nice, but it's not my biggest thing. Shiba Inu has been lackluster for a while, but it will probably just follow along with Doge, do some similar results. 10x from here is not too crazy at all. But 1 cent per Shiba or whatever, those are crazy numbers. I don't know who's whispering that in your ear, that 1 cent a Shiba Inu can happen soon. It's so freaking high, man. It is so freaking high. 1 cent a Shiba Inu. If it does, though, man, so anybody watching right now, you got to lock that in, by pressing the like button. But I should just give some, you know what? If Shiba Inu goes to $1, I should really just buy the moon. Or if it goes to $1, I should buy the moon. I should buy like a country. I should buy America maybe. If it goes to $1 per coin. For the amount of Shiba Inu I have, I should buy a country or two. Ethan says, I watched Peanut go from 200K market cap to 2 billion. I don't want to talk about it, man. I don't want to talk about Peanut anymore. Peanut is one of the worst fumbles, but there is somebody who fumbled it more. One of my friends. Let me show you. Give me a second to find this. Give me a sec. So a few things are interesting. One is a person here who, are we in the middle? Can we see it properly? No, we cannot. A person here who bought $17 worth of peanut, just sold everything for $3 million. Now that is amazing, right? But my friend here, Trader Main, right? You know how much he fumbled? If he had never sold his peanut, it'd be worth $32 million right now. I think actually a lot more since yesterday. It might be worth like $40 million plus. So, yeah, the developer also. If the developer did not sell all his peanut for $700, it could have had 100 mil at least. I think it would be 200 million right now. So if you're ever feeling bad, just know there's people fumbling tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars, man. So yeah, that's if you felt bad or you're having a bad time. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so. My TikTok is popping off here, guys, the last few days. I think today I got like 1 million views on TikTok, which is pretty interesting. But it's mostly for newbies. So I'm not so sure if you guys find value in that. It's mostly for people that are really, really new to crypto. Because the questions are interesting on there, that's for sure. Anyway, so how's the pump looking? Yeah, we're not moving too much, huh? You see, that's also the funny thing. The moment you start up a stream, excited, bam, 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 it starts doing nothing. But Bitcoin is, what if, guys, what if people just keep selling their Bitcoin for XRP, and every single time the Bitcoin starts going up, XRP takes the piss? Because right now, Bitcoin is starting to go up ever so slightly, and XRP is done with its rally, you know? So XP to Bitcoin is slightly falling back down. Interesting. It's still at 77 cents. And I still think the strategy, by the way, over a prolonged period of time will work. This strategy was not for XRP only. It's for any altcoin in bull markets. This is how I made crazy amounts of money back in 2018. Mostly 2017, 2018 also. Because I remember January 5th, I think is when XP hit its all-time high. You know, that was like an interesting moment in the altcoin season. Oh, people don't realize how much money you can make, man. You can really turn $3,000 into like $1 million, $2 million in a very short time span by some heavier risk strategies. But I don't want to encourage that because you can also lose it if you're stupid with it. But I'm telling you that this is the peak market that we're entering right here. And if you're too sensible with everything, you won't make that much money. If you're being smart with everything, you're like, I should only buy and calculate, blah, 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 blah. No, you got to be a little bit, I can't say it on YouTube, I think. On Twitter, I can say it, right? You know, you got to be a little bit of that. To buy, like I said, to buy peanut, for example, when things are already up so much, hundreds of percents, I still buy it anyway, right? This monstrosity of a coin, no idea what it does, but I bought it 2 days ago. It's up a frick ton over the past few days. Why did I buy it? Because it was pumping a lot, and I'm dumb. That's it. I'm literally just, I turn my brain to zero, and I buy a lot of these things. So Yeah. Many of these you see right here. I own so many meme coins. Why? Because it works. I've been telling you for many months that memes are the trend of the season. And I said before, if you want an area to go all into, just go all in on memes. Close your eyes. And this, again, it's going to sound dumb. I know it, but it's because it works. It's why I'm telling you it. I don't think most of these memes will last. I don't think so. Many of them are so useless that if you're buying them, you got to have a little screw loose in your brain because they're dumb, right? They're so dumb that it works, though, which is why I turn my brain to zero. I put some money into my account, close my eyes, make the wheel scroll, buy whatever, right? If it has a dumb name, you know, it says a name, right? If it's a dumb name, the better, right? Fart. Oh, it sounds so funny. Buy, right? It says some, I know, you're losing brain cells. I know, I understand. You want to buy for fundamentals. Not right now, all right? We're in good times where things that are, the dumber it is, the better it works. But yeah, it's unfortunately the truth, my friend. Dusty, are you reading any of the comments in the chat? Obviously not. Well, obviously I am. Otherwise I wouldn't have read that. However, mostly it's people telling stories, not so much questions. So, yeah, I might miss one or two. Some people are putting up random coins, but if you have not seen the coins in a video of mine, then they're not exciting. You know, and that's the thing. People marry their bags way too much. Like, oh, is that coin or this coin good? I don't care about your coin. Neither should you. It doesn't. But I bought that years ago because of, who cares? Buy what, honest opinion, buy whatever works this season. Or you're buying the dip of like a random ass miscellaneous coin in the hopes that it's going to gain traction one day. But that's literally like flipping a coin, and it might work, it might not. But the opinion doesn't matter. It's all about traction, all about game. You think it's too late for memes to buy now? My friend, if... Focus. Let's get back into it. Is it too late to buy memes? Mr. asked. Well, if you just heard the pitch that I made for like the last 30 minutes, you'd realize that we are at the start of a grandiose market. There might be downs, there will be ups, but generally speaking, we still believe that things will do really well until July to December, at least half a year, 7 months more, 8 months, 9 months. So by that logic, is it too late? Well, I wouldn't say so. But you can have your own opinion, make your own informed decision by studying the market or whatever. Go look at the previous cycles. Crypto always works in the same way. We've been extremely right thus far. And all I'll tell you about the situation here is it does make a lot of sense if we just go to the freaking moon over the next few months. But hey, I might be wrong. Then again, we'll make a lot of money over the next few months after that. Then it doesn't matter. If you're losing money in crypto, it's because you're ignorant. It's hard because we're at the highest prices ever for the most part. And again, if you listen to my videos, I'm not telling you you should, by the way. I'm saying if. At the end of the day, I may be wrong. I'm just saying if thus far, we were very right. You'd be listening, you'd mostly have Bitcoin, which is up a ton right now. Ethereum, we were kind of wrong on, but so is everybody. Anyway, guys, if you're not done yet, make sure you go ahead and press that like button on this video. Why not? I'm trying to get to at least 500 likes. Otherwise, I cannot sleep tonight, right? Nobody, hey, 420, let's go. Let's get that to at least 500 likes. Is 𝗏𝗏 safe? I'm using it with way more money than you will. Okay, I shouldn't brag like that. I'm sorry, my friend. I personally think it's quite safe. A lot of my friends work there now. Know everybody in the company. The CEO is public. Everything's fine. So I use it. And again, the way I always say it is, if you see me talking about a platform like this, I have more money on there than a lot of people will ever see in their lifetimes. All right. So in my opinion, it's safe. Otherwise, I won't use it. You understand where this is coming from? Yeah, that's my story I'll give you. If I'm talking about it here, and I'm again, you might have noticed, I've only talked about Bybit for so long, and Binance, but everybody already has a Binance, right? So it's not so interesting. But yeah, 𝗏𝗏, one of my favorite exchanges right now, which is why I'm talking about it. It took a long time for them to convince me. Yeah, because it's solid, but you just want to make sure, and I've been using it for a long time already. But yeah, in my opinion, yes. Again, no guarantees. Nothing is safe. Even your bank is not safe. They can always steal your money. You might say, oh, FDIC insurance. Well, sometimes things, so nothing is safe in that sense, but I'm using it with a ton of money, and I personally think it's fine. And again, there's a risk in everything. But crypto exchange-wise, I think it's a solid one. Somebody says, how do I make money on $200 without getting margin kicked out? Oh, how do I focus? Don't use margin if you don't want to get margin kicked. Bro, been bragging about having 50 cents. That's true. I only got 50 cents, but still. Anyway, 500 like made you look. Yeah, we're only at 400 something. Guys, let's press those like buttons up. Why not? I think it helps the live stream out, which is why I'm saying that. It doesn't really do much more. It doesn't give me money. It doesn't hurt you at all. Just make sure you hey! Oh, nothing interesting. President-elect Trump says JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon will not be part of his administration. I guess he doesn't want the main bankers in, huh? Did somebody just, did you just say you have $30 and you're asking me if it will do okay? What are you talking about? You have 30. You mean 30 Bitcoin? $30? 30 XRP? 30 what? Somebody says, got 30.00 in this. You think it will do okay? I will do okay. What are you talking about, my friend? So yes, I read the comments. I'm looking through them all the whole time. Did anyone else fumble Peanut besides me? So I'll tell you a fun story. I fumbled Peanut really hard because my friend group here, they bought it almost all of them really, really early. And then my friends kept saying, no, just buy more, just buy more. I'm like, So I bought Peanut really, really late. It's not actually done that well because I didn't put that much money in it. But it's doing okay the last, I guess, week or two. John says, hit the damn like button, people. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Press the like button, people. 30,000 in the market. Okay, maybe you shouldn't have said that. Never put the amount of money you've got in a YouTube chat box like that. Sometimes I wonder why people do that. Like I'm out there already, right? People might be looking at my my moves every single day already. But if you're not, right? You're not. Hey, Alchemist, long time no see, buddy. Welcome back. But maybe don't do that. Hey, Jesper, welcome back. Again, as time goes on and I start streaming more, a lot of you guys I'll remember forever. Because many of y'all, you've been around for years. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you got don't you have like a family and kids and stuff? You just throw them on the side whenever my stream starts. I appreciate you. Don't get it twisted, right? That's what I want you to do. I want you to just be like, hey, get back to your cages, everybody. I gotta watch this right now. That's what I would prefer to happen. Don't get it twisted. And I really appreciate you for it, right? Love, a lot of, appreciate you. But I sometimes do wonder how you guys are always here. I don't know how, right? A little bit of like, I don't know. You don't get, yeah. But I appreciate you, all right? You're always here, all right? You're always appreciated. That's all I'm saying, Where else should you be? Right here in this motherfucking chat box. That's what I'm saying. Somebody says, I was wondering your opinion on where XRP will go if they win the lawsuit. Well, they've won. I've seen how XRP is used, and I'm sort of shocked that its price is so low, given given it was made in the first place. Given why it was made in the first place. Well, my answer to that is, you realize that in life, things don't necessarily, truly move based on actual value, right? There's a lot of other factors involved. And so when we're talking about XRP, you might talk about the value proposition, but in 2017, when it hit its all-time high, it had no value at all intrinsically. Let's call it intrinsically by having a product, etc., right? So to that notion, I'd say, well, it's mostly just about hype, excitement, and community. XRP, what I like about it is in my opinion, there's almost no chance of it going to zero because the community they built is so strong and people will hold through freaking the weather, any weather, that it's hard for the coin to do really, really bad. And if you buy every single dip, you would have made a crazy sum of money. It's only if you are not listening to what I've been saying here for a while, you're ignorant and you think you know better, or you only want to buy once that you can lose up to this point. That's because cryptos are at their highest points ever. You might say, Dusty, but XRP's not at all-time high, so it's still down. It's because you're bad at money management. That's it. It's literally all I can say. And I do want to be insulting here, because if you are not able to turn this whole crypto endeavor into a profit, it's because you've been stupid, ignorant, and not good. Just educate yourself better to not make the same mistake again. I'm not saying I've never been stupid, guys. I've done many, many stupid things. Many. And it's fine to lose money also, but recognize you're being dumb, because it's the literal easiest money opportunity ever in your life. If you can't see that, then you're lost. And again, this is supposed to come as a little bit of a jab to people who have been losing money. It's because you're not convinced enough that it'll do well. And if you're not convinced that it'll do well, then what are you even busy with? Maybe crypto will do well, but maybe no. Blah, blah, blah. If you're only buying once, you better make sure you actually believe in what you're buying. If you don't, for sure, well, why update yourself then? Just buy once and never look back. Look back in like 5 years, see how it's done. If you're gonna constantly update yourself with all the updates. What's going on? What's the hype? What's this? Should I change my portfolio? Yada, yada, yada. That, in my opinion, means you believe in the currencies, at least to some extent. And by that, I do believe you should be adding whenever there's bottoms. And if you did, then you would have gotten a freaking ton of profit in your XRP right now. And so people come to Dusty, when XRP? What? If you're not in profit in XRP, what have you been doing? Have you been sitting under a coconut tree just licking the freaking bark? Or what? Dusty, is RLUSD going live before the end of the year in your opinion? I don't know. I thought RLUSD was already live, but I don't really care for that. I don't know. It doesn't matter for the grand scheme of things. It doesn't really change that much. What things that could be more interesting is the side chain and how they're going to expand on that, you know, with the EVM compatibility, because I like EVM a lot. But even then, price-wise, most likely most of the price moves will just happen based on nothing. Just like now, XRP's up 10% in a day, like 10%. 40% or so in like 2 days based on Bitcoin, I think. Well, how much? How much is it up? Let's quickly see back. It was up 30% versus Bitcoin in like 2 days. Why? I don't actually know. And nobody will be able to tell you, I think, for the most part. I don't know if there's really anything really that's happening that can be attributed to that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Somebody said Gary Gensler is resigning. Is that true? Or is it just a... Rover just said Gary Gensler is resigning. Bankless said, okay, Gary Gensler just gave a speech that sounds an awful lot like a farewell address. Phrases like, it's been a great honor to serve, usually mean one thing. Is he about to resign? Gary Gensler is out. What? What? Gary Gensler is resigning tomorrow. What? Or today, I guess. Whoa! Really? I'm going to just post it. If it's not true, I think so, right? Quickly see, is there anything I can find against it? So the last few hours has been rumors. Why is everybody posting it now all of a sudden then? Okay, no, it's likely to resign soon, huh? Might resign, rumors, resign. Little side note, if he does actually, if he does actually resign just now, okay, so he might resign by the end of the day tomorrow. Let me just, post it like that then, just to be sure it's not too bullish. Good. Interesting. Yeah, that's good. I think for like XRP and generally for crypto, we needed this goofball out. And I want to start screaming and stuff, but I think, man, I've been screaming too much. There's no official announcement. He's just basically gave a speech in which people find it too much to look like a farewell. By the way, no, it's already No! I wanted to... Okay, I wanted to order from a certain restaurant. I thought it was early. I'm hungry as a motherfricker. But the restaurant closes at 10 and it's 11:30. No! No! I promised myself I was getting rewarded today for the pump, but my favorite restaurant has closed. No! If you're in Dubai, give me some freaking heads ups, guys. What are your restaurants? What should I be looking into, right? What are you guys ordering? Just quickly in the chat box, where you guys are watching from? Right now it's about 11:20 in Dubai. I need to order some food. No! I had it all planned out in my head. I knew exactly what I wanted. No! That is very, very bearish, ladies and gentlemen. That is so sad. No. No, no, no. Anyway, let's get back to the XP grind. We're doing okay. Prize-wise. No. Let's see. Okay, what should I be eating? Del taco? Taco. 𝗂𝗧𝘀. What is 𝗂𝗧𝘀? I've never heard of that before. Hey, Bitcoin is picking back up the pace. The middle, by the way, to give context, left is Bitcoin, middle is XRP, and on the right is XRP versus Bitcoin, which has been doing really well, but could be better. JLT, oh bro, you live in the freaking faraway lands, huh? I'm not ordering from JLT. All right, let's see. Steak and fries. I can do that. I don't eat fries, but we can do steak. But I've ordered steak yesterday. I order steak about once a day. And I order food I order food a lot. It's also, I shouldn't say that. Remember you were bullish on crypto when 𝗕𝗓𝗀𝗃 was just assigned? Well, that turned a bit sour. William, you're a sharp one, my friend. Man, a lot of you don't know, but 𝗕𝗓𝗃 was really, really excited about crypto a few years back, right? So the moment he got assigned, this was like before he even got into office, we were all happy to get Jake Clayton out and 𝗕𝗓𝗃 in. What a surprise that was, huh? He screwed us over hella bad, dude. The guy went full 180 all of a sudden. That was actually one of the biggest twists in anything, really. It's like one of the top anime betrayals. So I don't know. What if 𝗕𝗓𝗃 gets out and it will get worse? Then again, I do believe with Trump at the head of it all, it probably won't be worse. Because I'm thinking if Trump is the man, which he's been, quote unquote, then and he's going to be quite bullish for crypto, then why get somebody in that's going to be worse for crypto? It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But again, guys, I always am realistic as well to keep the options open for some sort of screwing from some sort of angle, right? Also, have you ever ordered from Domino's Pizza? If you have, then you'll feel my story. I got scammed by them like 3 times. You know what happens? You order on Grab in Singapore and in Malaysia, I did, and they just never show up. So I've gotten scammed a few times, and it was too much money to get my money back. I think it must have been $100 in total over 3 times. It's like never mind. But actually, they like a freaking chain like that just literally scam me. I just wait and they never show up. It's kind of funny if you think about it. That a restaurant as big as Domino's Pizza just scammed me like 3 times. And what's even dumber, I was discussing with another friend of mine, another crypto YouTuber, the fact that I was able to get scammed 3 times. They got my ass multiple times. I kept having faith, thinking, man, this time will be different. They'll show up. You know why? Because after getting scammed twice, it happened. I ordered again, and they came. So the 3rd time I tried, and I got my ass again. After that, I was like, never again. All right? I was never again. But maybe at some point they'll catch my ass again. I don't know. Fool me once, shame on, but oh, they got my ass so hard. Oh, I shouldn't say it like that. That sounds a bit strange. Man, some of these dishes, the names on these things, maybe I shouldn't curse as much, huh? The names on some of these items. What are they? Who is thinking of this? Man. Anyway, I'm hungry. I'll just order different restaurants, different things. Let me just try a few different things. Name a dish. I'll order 4 things. I want a few different options. Let's order some stuff. Here we go. We've got 1. Okay, number 2. What are you guys saying? XRP still at 77.1. So the move is nice. I mean, we're getting to a point where we're getting above the threshold, but not by any crazy numbers. All right? We're getting to where we want to get to, but not really quickly. But the pace is okay. It's not bad. From a weekly perspective, this is what we're looking like. It's good. Especially if, well, we're at Thursday. If the week closes this like this. Lamb chops. Ooh, yeah, I could do that. 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 hummus. Okay, let's do 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. Nah, that's too fast foody. I don't like that. Spare ribs? No, you don't have good ribs here. Sushi samba. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can order sushi samba. It's nicer to go in, but it's too far away. Goat? Just goat? Or do you mean goat token, the crypto token? I don't know anymore. Hey, 77.4. Okay, we're coming back up. Doing okay. We need to replace Janet Yellen also. Fair. Very fair. I should actually like have a new a non-copyright version of like the pump it up, you've got to pump. I should actually go produce that maybe, so we can always play it in the background like really quietly, so the hype stays, because now it's like quiet as shit. I'm kind of like like a little bit awkward, people watching. We got no sound, no nothing, just watching some charts here. But 77.7. Hey, boys, we're going, boys, attention. So anybody, by the way, I want this to be clear, right? I'm not saying that this is a good strategy right here. It's working thus far. Again, if you also want to trade, check out 𝗏𝗏. I'm just saying this would be my strategy. And I have a little screw loose. So if I lose a lot of money, I'm fine with that. Maybe some of you guys aren't, so don't copy what I'm doing. That's all I'm saying. Not financial advice. These are my thoughts. But I can make it work. Maybe I'm just built different, though. Could be. Should we keep this open or the charts? Which one you want to open? The trade or the charts? Which one you want? Both. I can't open. 78. There we go. There we go, boys. 78. It's been so long since XRP has seen 78. There we go. Okay. 78.1. 𝗕𝗏𝗪𝗏 breast platter. I'm getting that. So 78, 78 too. There we go. There we go. Should have changed it now to like 100x leverage and just go crazy. Loaded hummus. This looks delicious. That looks good. Should I order some of that? Yes, yay or nay? What do you guys think? We're pumping. Boys, we're going. I'm ordering that also. I need that. There we go. Okay, I think I've ordered enough. I got a lot of things now. There we go. Come to my house. All right. When do we sell? My friend... You think I ever sold anything in my life? No, bro. I ride all the way. Bro, I buy, click, and I ride all the way up. And then I never sell. That's how we work on this channel. Oh, let's go. No, but anyway, like you can see right here, I just sometimes sell, for example, even right now. If you're like, hey, happy, 78 cents. The reason I would be against it is because we're on a massive tangent right now. We're going so hard that I'm like, ooh, it's kind of stupid to sell here because of the way we're moving. But on the opposite side, if you're comfortable, if you're uncomfortable with perhaps if you're comfortable with these gains, or you're not feeling the fact that it's going to make another crazy breakthrough, just sell right here, right? 78.5 cents. It's up a ton already in a very short amount of time. I think my portfolio just officially reached a new all-time high. Let me go see. Let me go see. Let me go see. Let me refresh. It has not. I lied to myself. We're very, very close to it, though. Thomas. Hey, Thomas, it's been a while since I've seen you, man. Maybe you've been around, but I've not seen you stream for a while. A day of days, the critics cry. Yes. 78.6. Here we go. Somebody says, JG says, sell. I got in at 70 cents. I don't know. The thing is, it depends on if you have trades open or if you have like just spot positions, right? For example, this trade is too little where I kind of don't care now, but on the opposite side, 79, 79, 79. 78, 9, 78, 77. I'm going to scream, by the way. Put your sound lower. I'm warning you. 79! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I like that sound. Oh, wait. You know what? Should I turn safe mode on so the microphone can never go that loud again? Maybe that is wise, huh? Nah, you know what? Screw you guys, actually. I'm excited. If you're not excited, you can't handle some sound, screw you. Let's go. Let's go. Wow. Let's go. Guys, make sure you go ahead and press that like button on this. We deserve it right now. We got 900 people watching. We got 500 likes, even though we had in total like 7,000 people join in. So make sure you press that like button. Let's get to at least like 750 likes. If you've not pressed it right now, you got it. And second of all, if you're looking for a new crypto platform to trade on, the one I personally use is Blowfin. There's a link pinned here. You can check it out for yourself. You can use it in every country in the world. You can use it anywhere. So just use it if you want to trade crypto also. And you're in a country that does not allow for Bybit, etc. Because yeah, it works fine. It's nice. So check it out. All right, the link is right there pinned, or it's in the description. Either of those two will work. 589. Oh, we crossed right past that. Get those likes up there, ladies and gentlemen. Why not? 79.1. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're doing okay. We're not doing bad. So if anybody bought when I said so, again, I don't want to be that guy, right? You'd right now be up 25% of your money because I always use 10x leverage in these videos. So you'd right now be up, if you bought when I said, you'd right now be up 25% on your money. So sit your ass back down telling me it doesn't work. This strategy works, man. So whoever bought, congratulations to you. You're a genius. Whoever didn't, yeah, well. And now, you see, here's where the things come in. People ask, Dusty, when do I sell? Whenever you want. You can sell right now for 25% profit. You can try wing it more. The longer you wait for, the more of a chance it's going to fall back down. Oh, the camera stopped working, I see. We're fine. Camera's lagging a bit. But it just kind of proves my point of, well, generally speaking, it does work. It could, by the way, be that XRP is doing well because of Gary Gensler perhaps resigning. Somebody says X is down. Confirm, guys? Can somebody confirm X is not working anymore? Is it working, yes or no? And by the way, I'm also not saying this pump is going to keep continuing on. I'm just saying I'm happy to see it because XRP is breaking a lot of barriers we've not broken in a very, very long while. And because I said the moment that we go, it's going to be a quick move upwards. And as of this point, it's already been indeed quite a few percentages, like 10% at least from what I basically said or expected. So it's nice. Let me quickly go take a pee break. If something happens, scream. I'm going to be looking at my phone. And mid P, I'll just run right the frig back, all right? But give me like 30 seconds. Oh man, the AC, I should turn the AC off. It's freaking cold as a muff. There we go. Nestle Crunch. Hey, wait a minute. Wait, it did actually go quite up to when I went to the toilet, huh? 79.66. Man, this is very, very bad to watch, you know? If you start watching it on the 1 minute chart, you drive yourself insane, I think. I think at some point I'm going to lose my mind if I do that. Oh, pump, pump. You see? It's oh, no. Anyway, guys, if you're not done yet, make sure you check out Blowfin. I keep repeating everybody. It's where to trade on right now. If anywhere in the world, you can use it. And also, another very important thing, by the way, make sure you press the like button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 likes this whole stream, but it's not. We've had 7,000 people join in. But people are greedy today with these things, man. Even though we're pumping, you should be excited. Very close to 80 cents, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very close. Very close to 80 cents right now. Very, very close. We practically got to it, by the way. I mean, 79.7 is practically 80 cents. 79.88. So we practically got to 80 cents. We didn't touch it, but we're there for the most part. What's the reason for the pump? It could be Gary Gensler resigning and getting out. It could just be because XRP always does a crazy move after Bitcoin. I mean, just to put into perspective, here's XRP's move right now. You see how much it's gaining on Bitcoin over the last few days. If you want the exact number, it's up 33% over the last 2.5 days against Bitcoin. So yeah. Crawling back to you. Oh, it's 79.97 we hit. So practically 80 cents. I mean, come on, what are we talking about? In theory, by the way, I can buy 80 cents if we want to. It's gonna take a few $100,000 XRP, but I can, it's gotta, you know, if I want to spend a few $100,000, I can just quickly buy us to 80 cents. Let's see real quick. Okay, if I now market buy 2 million XRP, we're at 80 cents. I don't know what the point is gonna be. If I buy 11 million X, that's a lot of money. That's $8 million. 8 million doubloons. Oh no, $11 million actually, now that XRP is up a lot. If I spend $11 million on this right now, I can buy 83 cents in XRP. That's amazing, right? That's a good deal. It's going to come right back down, so it's the worst deal ever. But hey, I could do that if I wanted to waste some money. So we touched 80 cents, 79.97, and right now we're coming back down. But anybody who was saying 80 cents, you guys are right. Hey, where do you guys think XRP will end up right now? Put your expectations in the chat. Gary Gensler's resign letter is out. You mean the expected resign letter? Or an official thing? Because as far as I understand, it's just semi-official. Because it's a letter of saying, hey, it's been nice. You know, when somebody says my thanks and stuff, it looks as if they're going to retire or resign or whatever, but you never know for sure, I guess. Could just be a reflection, I guess. Could be, right? I'm not saying it is. I think he's getting out, right? I think he's, and it's time anyway, right? He's been in there for so long. But at the end of the day, you never know for sure. 666 likes. Because it's Gary Gensler. It's crypto, man. I mean, crazier things have happened, right? What's a good sell target? Well, glad you asked. It depends, right? If you're talking about my bags, right? I've not touched XRP for many, many years. My holdings. I've added, but I've sold some, but for the most part, the big one, the big chunk, I've never sold all these years. And to that note, I'll say maybe if it gets like $10, I'd sell a chunk, maybe 80 cents, 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 80 cents. It's been breached. We touched it. 80.006. Woo! 80 cents has officially been hit, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that's been a while. 80 cents per XRP has finally been hit. It's been a long while, but we're there. 80 cents. Everybody in the chat, just type, yeah, real quick. Just type something, all right? I want to see some excitement real quick today. Let's get a little bit of excitement going. Even if you're not holding XRP, it doesn't matter. Just for fun, type it. Also, because my trade, the one I told you guys about right now, let's see how much profit you'd have been on. If you listened to me just now, you could have been at 36% profit. Right now, roughly 29. Right now, 31% profit on the trade. If you listen to what I said about half an hour ago. Again, I won't play the I told you so game, but I will tell you the game of this is my strategy, and I told you it always works. Now, again, I cannot tell you that it's going to keep working forever. It can go right back down. True. But, you know, at least we got to put some credit where credit is due. I see the people are happy, huh? Which one of you guys is, I guess almost, is there really anybody that's not holding, just type in yes or no. Holding XRP, yes or no? Somebody says H-bar is also doing well. Let's see. Is H-bar doing well? Mantra is one of my biggest holdings. I'm happy to see that. Brett is one of my biggest holdings. Happy to see that. Pepe right now has become one of my biggest holdings. It wasn't before, but I'm happy to see that. Hedera is up 11%. It's okay, but it's not that crazy. Most people here are saying yes, though, huh? Yeah, for the most part, everybody is saying yes. They are holding XRP. Huh. But then, just another quick question. Like a pump, for example, like what we're seeing right now, does that make you excited or is it way too low? Like, for example, now, 80 cents, bam. Is it like, oh, it's been a while, so I'm happy? Or is it like, 80 cents, I don't care about that? Again, a yes or no. Just a yes for I'm excited or no for X 80 cents, nothing. Because to me, the way I see it, right, is it's been a long time coming. And the moment it breaks these thresholds, you're able to basically trend higher and higher. So that's why I'm happy. But I also understand some people that have bought in for so long and they're not happy because it's not even $1. It's not even anything really, right? So, okay, here you see, here's where things get divided. Some people say yes, some people say no. I'm going to say it's about no, it's about, I'm going to say it's about 40-60, 40% yes, 60% no here. Little Miss Faithful, nice name, says still slow. Yeah, I get where that's coming from. It's, yes, start. It's a start, I guess, yeah. 83, 85, 79, 76, 79, 84, 97, 92, 104, 98, 11, then blast off. Yeah, man, the moment we cross $1, I do think things will go fast. I've said that for a while, though. But do you know that it's been so long since I've seen $1 per XRP? I can't even remember the times, man. I can't even remember the last time we saw $1 per XRP. Like, here back in July of 2023, it didn't even cross $1. That was when the lawsuit finished. The last time that XRP broke $1 was December of 2021. It's been a while. It's been a long while. It's been very, very long at that, actually. But this is interesting that it's all happening while Bitcoin is actually not really doing so well, huh? Bitcoin is going slightly up since the bottom just now, sure, but it's not that amazing actually. By the way, guys, if you've not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so. I'll be posting videos and streaming every day. Maybe streaming not every day, depends on if things are interesting or not. But I'll definitely be posting every single day. And I don't think you'll regret it. That's all I'm about to say to that. So make sure you are at least subscribed to the channel. Is Powell speaking? I don't know. Is he? Let's go see. In about so we got a 10 minute. Whoa, guys, what? In 10 minutes we got Powell speaking. Nothing went out today though, except for that, I think. Yeah, we had the inflation numbers yesterday. I posted about that, and then in about 10 minutes we have ourselves the Fed Chair Powell speech. Let's cover that also. Why not? Sure, let's do it. Peter, I like Peter. Oh, you're from Switzerland, huh? Says cheers all. Yeah, cheers to everybody. It will reach $1 tomorrow. Okay. Bro, XRP is ripping right now. When RLUSD blah blah blah. I don't think any of us are ready for that God candle. I might cry. I mean, a God candle can make you cry. At RLUSD dropping, I don't know why that would pump the price like that much necessarily. You could be excited for it, but I don't know why it'd be a God candle for that. Zoom out for the XP chart. I don't want to, man. It's been a long time. Man, actually, matter of fact, my friend, I will do that. Which one is it? Which one is our XRP chart? This one is the one. This is the one. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. Matter of fact, I've never waited this long in my life for anything. There you go. I'm going to post that also. Wow. Tap your chest like the wolf. What you mean, like the that guy? Tap your chest. Did you just call me a monkey? Just kidding. Where's the party being hosted? I mean, my friend, you know, we can definitely host a party, but it's not that good. I mean, XRP at 80 cents is like, okay. I mean, you know, I mean, it could be better. Did somebody say woohoo 1-0 England? What do you mean? Are you watching a football game at the same time, my friend? Jack says, me either. I've been through 4 girlfriends waiting for this pump. The next one is here to stay. Hey, bro, I don't want to be that guy, but maybe you're the problem? I don't know. XP party at Dusty's tomorrow, 7 p.m. I mean, yeah, I mean, no. Nah, I think we're okay. Man, XRP at 80 cents is, we need more, man. The door stays closed, all right? Until higher. My friend, you're not welcome yet, all right? No. Nobody's welcome inside my house unless we see a crazy XRP pump, right? You not gonna, hey, door stays motherfucking closed in your face. Ain't nobody, no. How much XRP at? 80, door stays closed. You're not coming in, all right? At like $15, you can enter, okay? The door, you're welcome, maybe. But now, no. Door stays closed. What price then? I don't know yet, my friend. I mean, at 80 cents XRP is not that crazy, right? It's not that wild. It's okay, but it's not that good. Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. I've said that like, I think at least 2,000 times in videos. Like a cup. Dubai is a long drive. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. Bye-bye, Gary. Gary Gensler leaving tomorrow. You know what's going to be funny if Gary Gensler doesn't leave tomorrow? He's probably gonna, but I mean, knowing our luck, it's like Gary Gensler saying, "Thank you all, haha, I just renewed another year," or whatever the frick. But Trump's gonna come in and kick him out anyway. Maybe he's gonna resign before before he gets fired by Trump to keep the honor. And he's old, right? I mean, that's not old, if you know what I mean. It just means he's old for the function. He's a retiring age. John says, hey, holy crap, I just thought the stream ended and a new video started. You tricked me. You know, I've not said, hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty, whatever, in a long time. I've not said it in a long time. Who was here? Hey, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 viewers. That's cool. Look at that. Who's been here all this time? Who's been here since I was still saying that? Some of you guys must have been here for at least a few years, huh? Bro speaks Dutch. Yeah, I speak Dutch. You'll be surprised with the languages I speak. Play some music, man. No, I don't want to. You know what you could do? Open the stream in one tab, open a little bit of music in another tab, and enjoy. What's your average price? I don't even know, my friend. I mean, I was just opening some sheets that was actually kind of funny from back in 2020, I think, where we did some cool stuff on, I think, Discord or so, where we gave a lot of these sheets to calculate all averages, etc. But for the last few years, I've not really needed it because the price has been so garbage that it's not really about where you got in. It's more about, you know, where you're going to get in next. Because, I mean, if prices just keep going lower and lower and lower, you deleted it, you naughty. I saw what you were saying. I Oh, naughty, 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 naughty. I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. You're lucky. All right. The whole world is gonna see what you wrote, and your missus especially, man. I was gonna expose the crap out of that. That was gonna be funny. Oh, you're lucky. You lucky. All right. You saved yourself from the separation. I will not say what he said. He's deleted it. Let's keep him in his privacy. Smart. Very, very smart. You're a very tricky guy, huh? Play some music. Man, nah. Man, you know, music is a whole another extra element for a stream. I got to think about... Nah, we ain't doing that. I got to think too much. Is the sound good? Is it a good song? Next, maybe another time, you know? Think XRP will dip again. Well, the simple answer to that is I have no real good opinion on that. Like, honest truth is literally like flipping a coin right now. It's not really, there's no analysis, there's no nothing. It's just, I personally think it's dip buying season, where anytime you buy the freaking dip, it's going to be fine. You'll be good, like I said at the start of the stream. Ardit says, play some music, bro. It's so quiet. My friend, I just told you no. Please don't shout. You scared my cat. Just buy a new cat. No, just kidding, man. Okay, I'll try to think about it. I can't put the live stream on safe, but people say that the sound is too low than if we do. Are you leveraging? I always do. Again, if you're also good at trade, there's a link here to Blowfin. It's the exchange I'm using right now, but this is actually Bybit. But a lot of people can't use Bybit. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, you might want to do so. You might want to do so. You know, pump it up. You've got to pump it up, don't you? Sometimes this I think he's messing up, huh? I'm watching. It's been a while, brother. Dang, good to see you again. Tyler Austin. You didn't even put up a message, my friend. Thank you for $1, I should say, I guess. When does the XP documentary drop? That is very bullish. Why? Is there a documentary about XRP? Oh, wait a minute. Guys, Powell's speech in 1 minute. Okay, let's prepare. Of course. Of course, I'll look back at the chart to this monstrosity. Atrocity. Let's go find this Powell speech. This is November 7th. This ain't it. Wait a minute. How do I mean, I see the speech everywhere, but how do I... Wait a minute. Hey, I'm getting scammed. Where... You can watch his appearance here. I'll just click it. Central bank independence. No, this is a different person. This is different. Man, why are all these dates different? Is he really talking about... Is this what he's going to talk about?
2024 chair of the Dallas Regional Chamber, St. Marshall.
Man, if this is what he's going to be talking about, that's going to be the most boring thing ever. Global perspective. Oh, camera broken?
Thank you, Dale, and and the Dallas Regional Chamber team who made this event possible by working with our friends at the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas and our friends at the World Affairs Council of DFW. These three great organizations worked with nonprofits and educational institutions to invite community leaders and students to experience this rare opportunity. Chair Powell's decision to come to speak to us underscores that the Dallas region is a key player in shaping the national economic conversation. Here are a few examples of that. Dallas-Fort Worth is currently the 4th largest market in the United States and is on pace to pass Chicago in 2028 to become the 3rd largest market in the country. Yes. Over the past 5 years, the Dallas region has led the nation in job growth, and that's been going on for some time. Since 2010, 1.3 million new jobs, let me say that again, 1.3 million new jobs have been created here. Since 2010, 276 companies have established their headquarters right here, including 6 Fortune 500 companies.
Are people really hyped for things like this?
If Dallas-Fort Worth were a country, and we already think it is, our economy would be ranked 23rd in the world. And today, right here in this room, many of the leaders and companies that they lead helped create that prosperity. We have an incredible business community. Give it up for our business community. At the Dallas Regional Chamber, the team works hard every day to help make the Dallas region the best place in America for all people to live, work, and do business by driving progress in 4.
Okay, is this only going to be, it's only about Dallas. Am I watching the wrong thing? It's Global Perspectives with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, but it's at the Dallas Regional Chamber. Why, just a little question, why would we care about this actually? Does anybody know? Is there anybody, hey, let's do a little poll. We watching this or are you not watching this? Let's see, how do I poll this? We care, question mark, about the Powell. Let's poll this. Because to be honest, I literally do not care. But maybe I'm being ignorant. We should watch it. But I don't know who this lady is. Maybe the Dallas lady. XRP documentaries about ETHgate. I'm watching it tomorrow. Wait, it's out? When is the XP documentary coming out then?
I am happy to introduce my good friend, 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗑, President and CEO of the World Affairs Council of DFW. Liz?
She's also bringing in 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. Oh, this. My ears. She's bringing 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. I mean, we don't care about that, right? Ah, okay. DN says it's hosted in Dallas, so she has to talk about Dallas. That makes a lot of sense. Now, that makes a whole lot of sense. I thought it was a specific Dallas thing. Well, we're good. I mean, we could give it a little bit of time. Maybe once Jerome Powell speaks, we start watching. Why not? Who is this little simp right there in the chat box, huh? Love you, Powell. Hope you can come on my stream and do an interview one day. Thank you, Dallas Regional. Hey, shut your ass up, little simp. Who doing that? Who? Nah. I don't appreciate that. Whew. So XRP falling back down like always. I mean, it's still above 78, by the way, but we've crumbled down a little bit again. So it's good but bad, right? Man, my food is taking a while. So people are saying, yeah, it's the rumor of Gary Gensler resigning that's causing us to pump. Better sell by tomorrow. Yeah, but actually also over the last few days here, it's been doing really quite well. And perhaps it's mostly just because of the notion that it's going to do well after Bitcoin, right? So whenever Bitcoin does well, right now Bitcoin is slashing, by the way. It's really not doing well. Take a look at this, right? The last hour or so here, Bitcoin has fallen by another $1,000 almost. So it's also very plausible that XRP is not sustainable here in this this moment right now. Because I do keep getting messages of how XRP has been pumping. 8 minutes ago, I got notifications from exchanges saying XRP pump. And honestly, it has been doing really, really well. Even though Bitcoin has been on such a decline, right? But I guess right now, when Bitcoin is slashing a little bit, Ethereum also is falling hard, by the way. Like, all of them are down for the day, matter of fact. Just go to the top of the top. Bitcoin's down on the day. Ethereum's down on the day. Most of these are not doing as well as XRP is. It's like the number one of the day. Even up still over the hour, it's still up like 4% or so. So is it really bad? I don't know. Is it really based on Gary Gensler resigning? I don't know even. Because we're not sure if he is. It's an expectation. I'm yelling timber. But yeah. Somebody says, here comes Powell. All right, you know what? We'll get back to it. Powell's not here, my friend. You lied to me. A quick 4% dip just like that. I mean, that is crypto for you, my friend. That is crypto for you. To be honest, that is the crypto space in a nutshell, right? But Bitcoin right now also back to like almost 88,000. Okay. Yeah, we're back at the 88 range. Bitcoin back at 88.5, 88.4. Whoa, we're dropping hard. But again, generally speaking, if you just keep, in my opinion, right? If you just keep buying the dip, you usually are quite fine. It's my bull market strategy. Again, this can hurt, sure, but generally speaking, it doesn't. I think Powell's coming now. So again, we watching this, I think. Yeah, why not? We're going to watch this. Give it a few seconds. He's coming in. There we go. All right.
Thank you to the World Affairs Council, to the Federal Reserve Bank of comments on the economy and monetary policy before we move to our conversation. So looking back, the U.S. economy has weathered a global pandemic and its aftermath and is now back to a good place. The economy has made significant progress toward our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices. The labor market remains in solid condition. Inflation has eased substantially from its peak, and we believe it is on a sustainable path to our 2% goal. We are committed to maintaining our economy's strength by returning inflation to our goal while supporting maximum employment. The recent performance of our economy has been remarkably good, by far the best of any major economy in the world. Economic output grew by more than 3% last year and is expanding at a stout 2.5% rate so far this year. Growth in consumer spending has remained strong, supported by increases in disposable income and solid household balance sheets. Business investment in equipment and intangibles has accelerated over the past year. In contrast, activity in the housing sector has been weak. Improving supply conditions have supported this strong performance of the economy. The labor force has expanded rapidly, and productivity has grown faster over the past 5 years than its pace in the two decades before the pandemic, increasing the productive capacity of the economy and allowing rapid economic growth without overheating. The labor market remains in solid condition, having cooled off from the significantly overheated conditions of a couple of years ago, and is now, by many metrics, back to more normal levels that are consistent with our employment mandate. The number of job openings is now just slightly above the number of unemployed Americans seeking work. The rate at which workers quit their jobs is below the pre-pandemic pace after touching historic highs 2 years ago. Wages are still increasing, but at a more sustainable pace, and hiring has slowed from earlier in the year. The most recent jobs report for October reflected significant effects from hurricanes and labor strikes, making it difficult to get a clear signal. Finally, at 4.1%, the unemployment rate is notably higher than a year ago, but has flattened out in recent months and remains historically low.
Boys, the volume is maxed. I can't do anything.
Inflation, the labor market has cooled to the point where it is no longer a source of significant inflationary pressures. This cooling and the substantial improvement in broader supply conditions have brought inflation down significantly over the past 2 years from its mid-2022 peak above 7%. Progress on inflation has been broad-based. Estimates based on the Consumer Price Index and other data released this week indicate that total PCE prices rose 2.3% over the 12 months ending in October, and that, excluding the volatile food and energy categories, core PCE prices rose 2.8%. Core measures of goods and services inflation, excluding housing, fell rapidly over the past 2 years and have returned to rates closer to those consistent with our goals. We expect that these rates will continue to fluctuate in their recent ranges, and we're watching carefully to be sure that they do, however, just as we are closely tracking the gradual decline in housing services inflation, which has yet to fully normalize. Inflation is running much closer to our 2% goal, but it's not there yet, and we are committed to finishing the job. With labor market conditions in rough balance and inflation expectations well anchored, I expect inflation to continue to come down toward our 2% objective, albeit on a sometimes bumpy path. Given progress toward our inflation goal and the cooling of labor market conditions, last week my Federal Open Market Committee colleagues and I took another step in reducing the degree of policy restraint by lowering our policy interest rate by 1/4 percentage point.
On my end?
We're confident that with an appropriate recalibration of our policy stance, strength in the economy and the labor market can be maintained with inflation moving sustainably down to 2%. We see the risks to achieving our employment and inflation goals as being roughly in balance, and we are attentive to the risks to both sides. We know that reducing policy restraint too quickly could hinder progress on inflation. At the same time, reducing policy restraint too slowly could unduly weaken economic activity and employment. We're moving policy over time to a more normal setting, but the path for getting there is not preset. In considering additional adjustments to the target range for the federal funds rate, we will carefully assess incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. The economy is not sending any signals that we need to be in a hurry to lower rates. The strength we're currently seeing in the economy gives us the ability to approach our decisions carefully. Ultimately, the path of the policy rate will depend on how the incoming data and the economic outlook evolve. We remain resolute in our commitment to the dual mandate given to us by Congress: maximum employment and price stability. Our aim has been to return inflation to our objective without the kind of painful rise in unemployment that has often accompanied past efforts to bring down high inflation. That would be a highly desirable result for the communities, families, and businesses we serve. While the task is not complete, we've made a good deal of progress toward that outcome. Thank you very much, and I look forward to our discussion.
Thank you, Chair Powell, for those words. I will note that you are not the only Fed official who is giving a public speech today. Your colleague, Governor 𝗕𝗂𝗪, gave remarks earlier today in Uruguay about the importance of an independent central bank. No particular reason, I'm sure, that that was the topic of the day. We have a lot of students here today. I'm wondering if you could just explain in general why there is this bromide about it's important for the central bank to be politically independent.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Let me say what we mean by independence first. So what that really means is that the decisions that we make about monetary policy, about interest rates, cannot be reversed by any other part of the government except, of course, Congress. Congress created the Federal Reserve by statute and can do what it wishes to do by statute, but our decisions are not reviewable by any other agency. And we are charged to make those decisions with regard to the medium and longer term well-being of the public that we serve. So we're not thinking as we make our decisions about the well-being of any political party or anything like that. So we're just looking at the macroeconomics and doing the very best we can. There's been a lot of research about central bank independence, and what it shows is that central banks who are independent, meaning independent from the other parts of the government, do a better job on inflation. And that makes a lot of sense because, we're thinking really just of getting inflation under control while keeping the labor market strong, and we're not thinking of political factors which would frankly be a distraction to the already difficult work that we have to do the main job. So the academic research is very clear globally, by the way. This has been a global trend for more than the past 50 years. Advanced economies like the United States economy around the world all have central bank independence of one part or another, in one form or another. The other thing I'll add is that what comes with that on our part is an obligation to be highly transparent about what we do, to explain ourselves to the public, to Congress. Congress has oversight over the Federal Reserve in our system. So we spend a great deal of time talking to the oversight committees and the broader Congress in the House and the Senate, explaining to them why we're doing what we're doing. I testify as a matter of statute 2 times of the year in each of the House and Senate. So that kind of gives us the accountability that we need to be democratically legitimate in a situation where we do have some independence.
The macroeconomic conditions that you just described in your remarks sound tantalizingly close to a soft landing. I know you're not willing to declare victory yet. To what extent do you think the fact that the Federal Reserve is credibly independent is responsible for the good outcomes that we've had so far?
So the credibility is really everything in our work. And I think, as you know, inflation spiked really globally, all around the world, as the economies around the world reopened after the pandemic shut down, and on the back of a lot of fiscal and monetary stimulus. We saw a burst of inflation all around the world. And what happened is we raised interest rates to bring that down, but the public had faith. We measure inflation expectations many different ways, surveys and based on market-based instruments, and they all kind of showed the same thing, which is the public all through all this believed that we would get inflation down, that we would restore price stability, which we define as 2% inflation. And that's ultimately the key to it. Inflation is a social phenomenon. If people believe that inflation will be higher, then it probably will be. And if they believe that inflation will come down, then people who make and take prices and wages, they will make sure that it does come down. So it's absolutely critical that we be credible. And part of that is that we responded so forcefully when it became clear that inflation needed a response from us. We responded quite forcefully, and we think that helped keep inflation expectations anchored, as we say.
And then one last question, and then we can move on, I promise, on this. There have been times in U.S. history when people look back and say that the Fed was not seen as terribly independent. What did we learn from those episodes, in your view?
Well, if you go back to the period of the high inflation, which I'm old enough to remember, it was during my college years, and basically the public kind of lost faith that the Fed would restore price stability, and the cost was a decade of very high and very volatile inflation, quite difficult business conditions, extremely difficult for people on a fixed income. Think what that does. You may have felt it. If you're on a fixed income and prices go up 20%, you're just in trouble right away. So inflation is worst for people at the lower end of the income spectrum and the wealth spectrum. So we've seen it here in the United States in the 1970s, actually, and it's not a pretty picture. So, you know, I think this is very widely, by the way, understood and supported. You know, I've spent a lot of time on Capitol Hill, and I think where it really matters on both sides of Capitol Hill, the Senate and the House, in both political parties, there's a broad understanding that an independent central bank is very important in just serving the public as best we can. We're not perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, but you'll get the best results if you have people who are just focused on that task and separate from politics.
Thanks. A little bit more elaboration from what we heard last week at the press conference on this question. In that press conference, you basically downplayed the impact of the election on FOMC policy. You said we needed to kind of wait and see, but that does stand in contrast to how the FOMC behaved at the December 2016 meeting, when roughly half of committee participants, according to the transcripts, upgraded their economic forecasts based on expected changes to fiscal policy under a Trump administration, and in particular a previous trifecta in which the Republicans controlled both chambers of Congress and the White House. You were, in fact, one of the policymakers who made changes to your forecast, finding that the staff's assumptions around a tax cut was a reasonable placeholder, which gave you greater confidence in the outlook. Does that approach seem reasonable in the current circumstances? That basically, you know, since the FOMC has been starting to judge some downside risks to the growth outlook, does the election and the results that we have today remove or at least substantially mitigate downside risks to growth? So
that's your question? So I think it's too early to reach judgments here, and I'll tell you why. So the job of staff is to go, you know, and be very nimble and make assessments in real time, much like capital markets do. You know, the markets are pricing in assessments of what policy changes will be made and what their effect on the economy will be. And staff will do all of that. I think policymakers are going to wait longer to see what the actual effects will be. And so, for sure, at our December meeting, staff will present what we know, but the thing is, we don't actually really know what policies will be put in place. We know that policies in several areas will change. We don't know how much, we don't know over what time frame. When it comes to fiscal policy, it takes quite a long time to get a bill through Congress, and I think this year what we're looking at is something that doesn't need to get done until the end of the year, and therefore probably won't have any economic effects this year, but it'll be more 25, it'll be 26 or 27. So I think we have time to make assessments about what the net effects of policy changes will be on the economy before we react with policy. That's not to say we won't be doing quite a lot of analysis. And the analysis we do, by the way, is informed by the best research, the best thinking, the best experts, and there's a lot of research on the effect of policy changes on the economy. We'll make those assessments, but I think we'll be careful about changing policy until we have a lot more certainty.
You've spoken before about federal debt as being at unsustainable levels and the potential consequences for growth. Do we get to a point where deficits and debt get so high that it makes your job harder, essentially, that it makes it harder for the Fed to achieve its goals?
So we're not at that point now. I want to be clear that we're not in any way taking into account fiscal issues when we make our, let me say it this way, the debt issue is not an issue that is guiding us in making our economic judgments. Fiscal policy can, of course, affect the economy. You know, first of all, we do not have a role of supervising the elected branches that do fiscal policy. In fact, it's the other way around. So we don't give them specific advice. But as I have often said, and as all of my predecessors have noted, the U.S. federal government budget is on an unsustainable path. It's not that the debt we have is at an unsustainable level. It's not. It's that we're on a path that's not going to be sustainable. We have a very large deficit at a time when we're at full employment. And I would just say, We know that we're going to need to address that, and it's going to need to be done sooner or later, and sooner is better than later. But I leave it at that.
Okay. In addition to the potential long-term risks that higher deficits and debt present for growth, are there also risks to the functionality of the Treasury market? You know, when shocks hit the market, and if so, how might the Fed respond?
Well, the functioning of the Treasury market is incredibly important, and it does function very well. It's the most liquid and most important, probably, financial market in the world, certainly one of the most important. And you know, we did see some, at the beginning of the pandemic, you may remember that the Treasury market lost function because normally in an emergency, money flies into the Treasury market, but the pandemic was such an unusual event. People didn't want to own longer-term securities. They only wanted to own, effectively, cash. And so we had to jump in and support that. I think more broadly than that, it's just important that, that the Treasury market remain well-regulated, and, you know, that companies have an incentive to do intermediation in the Treasury market. It's relatively low risk. It's very important for the economy. And it's important that that be the case.
In the March 2020 episode that you're referring to, the Fed ultimately had to step in as a lender of last resort. Would the Fed do that if there were similar disruptions in the initial issuance of treasuries? That was in the secondary market, as I recall.
You know, we're not a fiscal actor, so that was a situation where we have a mandate that we share with other agencies to look after the financial stability, financial stability. And part of that is if really important markets break down, and they kind of all broke down at the beginning of the pandemic. They just stopped working. And so we set up a series of facilities to backstop those markets, but they actually didn't get used because just the fact that we had the facilities restored credibility, and the markets started working on their own. It was remarkable. So in the case of a financial stability event like that, or the global financial crisis, where really the whole global financial system was at risk given the failure of a number of large financial institutions around the world, in those kinds of things we can use these emergency tools, but they're not for every event. They're really for financial stability events.
You mentioned that it's a little bit too early to know what policy beyond the remit of the Fed would look like. You know, we don't know exactly what the fiscal picture will look like, but we do know directionally that tariffs are likely to go up, right? Even if we don't know how much, if we don't know necessarily if it'll be exactly what was described on the campaign. And I'm wondering how you're thinking about that. Well, go on, sorry.
So what matters for us is we don't stand in judgment over these policies in any way. What matters for us is to what extent will new policies have an effect on our mandate goals of maximum employment and price stability, and do we need to change our policy because of these changes in order to achieve those goals? And the answer to that question is not obvious. So let's say that there will be some tariffs. We have no idea what that's going to look like. That's one thing. Another thing is, what about retaliation? That changes the picture. In addition, that's happening at a time when there could be fiscal policy, which could be supportive of the economy. So what's really the net effect? We don't take one piece of this. We're looking at the whole economy. In addition, remember, this is way over a $20 trillion economy. Many, many things affect the economy all the time. It's not that common that changes in government policy have immediate effects in the achievement of our goals. That could be the case, and of course we will use our tools as we're supposed to do to foster the achievement of maximum employment and price stability. That's what we do. That's what we always do, and we'll do it here. I'm just saying we're going to be careful to wait and better understand the net effects of these things as those things affect the achievement of our goals.
If you look back to the previous round of trade wars under Trump's first term, the Fed staff prepared a report in the 2018 Teal Book where they basically talked about whether the Fed should be looking through any price increases that result from tariffs and assume that it's a one-time step up in prices as opposed to self-perpetuating inflation or not. And the staff said at the time that the Fed should look through the tariff increases so long as, one, you think it's going to be a one-time adjustment and not a series of adjustments, and two, so long as inflation expectations are anchored. It's not obvious that either of those conditions will hold the next time around, right? Back in 2018, we had had decades of very low inflation. Now we've had a much more recent experience with higher inflation. And as you point out, there could be a series of retaliations and tariffs and counter tariffs and counter tariffs. So are the risks bigger this time that a price shock could feed into trend inflation?
They're different. We're in a different situation. The debt situation has changed substantially. And you're right, we're not, 6 years ago and such, the inflation was really low and inflation expectations were low. Now we've come way back down, but we're not back where we were. It's a different situation. Inflation's still running above 2%. But we'll take all of that into account. I tell you, though, the answer isn't obvious until we see the actual policies, and even then it's not obvious. So I just think we reserve judgment until we actually know what we're talking about. And I don't want to speculate. I don't want to guess. I think it's more important that we wait and see what actually happens.
Last time around, as you suggested, there were mixed consequences. There were mixed effects. And as I recall, during these previous trade wars, the Fed actually cut rates several times because there were consequences for growth and investment and confidence. So how does the Fed respond if higher tariffs result in both higher prices and slower growth? Do you have the tools to respond to that?
Well, so you're absolutely right. So in 2000 and I guess it was 19, we cut rates 3 times, and that was right after there had been fiscal stimulus, there had been tariffs, and so it really was because the net effect of what was happening, and what was happening around the world too. There was global growth was really soft. There was a feeling that the U.S. economy was softening. We actually cut rates 3 times, I guess beginning in mid-year, and that kind of worked. That restored confidence. We felt at the end of 2019, we felt like that had really worked, and that situation was quite a good one. Of course, then the pandemic arrived, and none of it mattered. So that's the way it happened. But that's exactly my point, though. We had a meeting the prior December, and it briefed us on what might happen. But what actually happened was something quite different. So and I'm not talking about the pandemic. I just mean the way that played out. I don't think we started that year thinking that it would be appropriate to cut rates 3 times. So just know that we will do what we believe is the right thing. That's what we're always going to do. But I think it's really important to reserve judgment and see how this plays out. We're still months away from a new administration, let alone knowing the real details of what's going to happen, and then being able to project what will be the net effects on the economy.
Another major factor in the economy in the past year or so, you have said, is immigration. That immigration is a strong reason why supply and demand have gotten closer into alignment. In the past few months, we've already seen big decreases in immigration. What effect do you think that is likely to have on the macroeconomy in the near term?
So before I answer that, I do want to say that immigration is a question to be addressed by political authorities using such values as they deem appropriate. We're looking at the macroeconomic effects and reporting on them. It's not a question of judging. We don't have a view on the right level of immigration. That is for the voting public and their elected representatives. Okay. But what we saw over 2023 and 24 was a surge in immigration, and also a surge in the labor force, and it certainly pushed up economic growth, and it may or may not have had some effect on getting the labor market back into balance. It'll take time to really understand that, but it certainly made for a bigger economy. And we're coming off the back of a severe labor shortage, so there was room at that time for people to get work, and they went to work at roughly the same level as non-immigrants went to work. So that happened, Then the rules changed. The current administration, the Biden administration, changed the rules a few months back, and we've seen that come down. These are judgments that get to be made by elected people about what the right thing for the country as a whole is, not by us. You know, but you ask what the effects will be. You will see. Really, there have been two supply-side things that have been pushing up U.S. potential output and actual output. One of them is just more workers, and the other one is productivity. And the more workers part of it is probably diminishing in its effects. And so that won't be something that's pushing up overall output. At the same time, the number of job openings has come way down, so it's not clear what the overall effect will be on there's about one job opening for every unemployed person now. In terms of productivity is incredibly important. That's just output per hour. And if you think about it, higher output per hour is really the only way for incomes to go up over time among the public. And we've actually had, for the first time in a while, a few years of higher productivity, going back 5 years now. This is incredibly important and very positive, and we hope it continues. And there's no reason why it can't. I will say, though, that over the past 50 years, if you look at it, if you have 1 or 2 or 3 years of high productivity, it tends to revert to the trend really quickly. Because it tends to be driven by longer run things like evolving technology and evolving educational levels and things like that. So you don't tend to get big increases of productivity that are sustained very often. It's quite rare, although it has happened.
I do want to ask you some more questions about productivity, but just one follow-up on the immigration point. So economic growth is about the size of the workforce and how productive that workforce is. I asked before about the consequences of decelerating immigration. What happens if the workforce actually shrinks as a result of, for example, mass deportations, which may be in the offing?
You know, I'm not going to be comfortable speculating on potential policies. It's not our job to be a commentator on...
No, I'm not asking whether it's good or bad. I'm just asking, what does it mean if the workforce shrinks?
You know, I mean, I think we can do the arithmetic. If there are fewer workers, there'll be less work done. But we don't. It gets too close to, I just don't want to go there. This is getting me into political issues that I really want to stay as far away from it as I possibly can.
All right, so let's talk about productivity. You're right that productivity has been above trend. I think 8 out of the last 9 quarters GDP growth has been above trend, largely because of productivity. To what do you attribute that?
So this is something people will be arguing about in decades from now, but I would give you 4 or 5 candidates. So one of them is that in the pandemic, people started a lot of businesses, and that many of those fail fairly quickly, or don't turn out to matter. But when there's a burst of activity in starting businesses, there tends empirically to be higher productivity because many of these are technologically driven, or the use of technology is pushed out into the society. So that's one. Another is that unlike a lot of our, for example, European countries where they kept the labor force in place, here people had money from government transfers and also from forced savings. They couldn't travel, they couldn't go to restaurants. And so they quit their jobs and they went and found other jobs. And so there was this huge reallocation of people from jobs that they actually didn't want that much to jobs that they wanted more. And we think that's a real factor in this. In addition, given the tremendous labor shortages, a lot of time and effort went into supplementing and people's technological capabilities in ways that substituted for labor. So there was a lot of that.
Can you give an example of what you mean?
Sure. I mean, just call centers. There's lots of ways to, you can now do call centers, so they're much more automated. We're getting to a place where call centers will be done by artificial intelligence, probably. But also just, you go to a fast food restaurant, which of course I never do anymore at my age. But I'm told, if you go to a fast food restaurant, a lot of that is, and I've seen this in airports actually, you don't necessarily need somebody to take your order. You've got a nice menu, you punch a screen and the food appears. So and there was tremendous incentive to do that when there weren't any workers. I mean, you saw stores that didn't have very many people in them and that sort of thing. So I think that's an example that we saw.
I don't think I heard you mention in that response anything about like generative AI. I'm wondering, do you think that that could be part of a new era of productivity acceleration?
You know, artificial intelligence, pre-generative AI, is used all the time by big companies and modest-sized companies too, and it's certainly having an effect on productivity. Generative AI is just in the early stages, and certainly the companies that, and the banks in particular that we deal with, are not really using it yet. They're not really deploying it yet, and they're very aware of the risks in it. So, but over time, I mean, you can find estimates from credible organizations that generative AI will create a burst of productivity, a large burst of productivity in the next decade. You can also find skeptics, you know, very credible skeptics who think that that's hugely overdone. The history has always been that, you know, there's innovation, there's technology, it doesn't show up in the productivity statistics at all, and then it shows up a lot, but much later. So it's usually later and bigger than we expect. That may be the case here, because this really, it is an extraordinary set of developments, and you know, the ability to replace a lot of work that's currently done by humans, including well-educated humans, is obvious.
How does that influence your thinking about monetary policy?
You know, it really doesn't in the short term. We keep extremely close tabs on the labor force. If you think about it, monetary policy is trying to keep the economy at maximum employment and price stability, trying to use our tools to do that. And that's you're thinking, you know, at 2 or 3 years out, the kind of things that drive longer run productivity and that matter for the longer run are really not tools that are in our hands. The best thing we can do for technological evolution is to create macroeconomic price stability, by which I mean price stability and a good, strong, stable labor market, so that people don't have to worry about inflation, volatile or high. And so that's the most that we can do, I think, best thing we can do.
You mentioned that a lot of the financial institutions that you regulate or you oversee are also experimenting with these new technologies, with AI. Given that so much AI is not explainable, you know, it's sort of a black box, a lot of the time the software engineers or others who work with it cannot explain how it came to the decision that it did. Does that make it harder to regulate in the sense that there might be blind spots for certain kinds of systemic risk, right? If banks don't necessarily know how they're coming to the decisions that they're coming to, and there could be some herding that may not be obvious ex ante.
It raises just that kind of question, many different questions like that. I would say the good news is, in terms of the institutions we supervise, we understand that, but they understand it very well. I think people are treating AI very carefully, and they're not just loosing it, at least among the regulated banks, they're not just loosing it on their customers and on the problems they face. They're being very careful and thoughtful, we believe, or at least I believe, about how they implement it, doing lots of work, but they're keeping it carefully under wraps and you know, not deploying it so much yet in their business. And working, you know, everyone's working to understand the technology, where it's going, what it's capable of, what the risks are. And you know, you mentioned that. It's making decisions, and we often don't know why it makes these decisions. So how do you get after things like discriminatory outcomes in lending if you don't know why it's making its decisions? So it's going to be, you know, challenging, but I would say we're well aware of that, and so are the banks.
You have a 5-year strategic review coming up. How has your experience over the last 5 years made you reevaluate, if at all, the strategy adopted in 2020?
You know, we had a strategic review, and we have a document called our Statement on Longer Run Goals and Monetary Policy Strategy. It's 1 page. The type is getting really small, so I think we're going to go to 2 pages next time. But remember, that was the era where for a long time after the global financial crisis, rates around the world were incredibly low. For example, major European countries, their longer-term debt was yielding negative 30 basis points and things like that. How do you even understand that? So rates were very, very, very low in the economy, and that's a problem for central banks because we can't cut rates meaningfully below zero, and cutting rates is what we do to support the economy. So we actually like having significantly positive interest rates like we do now. All right, so what we did is we said there was a whole literature on how you deal with, in monetary policy, how you deal with having interest rates stuck at zero in effect, and you can't cut, you're kind of stuck, you can't support the economy, you get into this trap where growth is low, inflation is low, unemployment is high, and you can't get out of it without fiscal policy, and fiscal policy is challenged. So there was a lot of research done on it, and we took a pretty mainstream, fairly vanilla approach to that, which is, I won't go into all the details, but it was to have a makeup strategy so that we would promise ex ante to let inflation run a little bit high if it were running too low. And the thought was, if people believe that you'll do that, if that's credible, then inflation won't run low. So that's all we did. 4 months after we announced that the pandemic hit, and then inflation a year after that came up. So the change, 20 years of low inflation ended sort of 4 months or a year and 4 months after we did the framework. So the question we'll be asking in this framework 5 years later is really it revolves around how do we think about the problem of the zero lower bound now? Now that interest rates are substantially higher than they were, substantially higher. Is that going to be so the question you're asking is, do we, in a world where we review the framework every 5 years, shouldn't we change the framework to reflect that interest rates are higher now so that some of the changes we made are probably not necessary, or in any case shouldn't be the base case anymore? They might be a case that we have that remedy at the handy, but at the same time, the base case should be more like a traditional reaction function where you don't promise an overshoot, you just target inflation. We haven't made any decisions, but those are the questions we'll be asking.
You mentioned the prospect of long-term rates being higher, the neutral rate being higher. You've said many times when asked by journalists, among others, about how we know when we've hit the neutral rate, that we know it by its works,
yeah.
Right? Which almost sounds like ecclesiastical or something. How long does it take to evaluate whether we've hit it? When do we know? If there are lags between the time that we hit the neutral rate and that we can see it in its works, does that increase the risk for policy errors?
Let me just take a second and explain. So we move interest rates up and down, but what is high and what is low? Compared to what is the question? You have to have an estimate of something that's kind of neutral, something that a level of interest rates that's neither pushing the economy up, supporting it, or dragging it down, which would be higher restrictive policy. And we fully acknowledge that there's no sort of either theoretical or empirical way to arrive at an estimate of what the neutral rate is that you can really have a lot of confidence in. So what does that argue for? It argues for moving carefully. So in our current situation, we feel like our policy is restrictive. We can't say exactly how restrictive it is. By that I mean it's weighing on economic activity and lending, hiring and all that, because the economy was overheated and now it's cooling down and it's moved pretty much as we had hoped it would, which is that we've had a gradual cooling in the labor market. Inflation's come down a lot, and the labor market's not quite stabilized, but it's in a good place. So it's actually worked very well. So we've started the process of cutting rates and moving back down toward neutral. I think the right way to find that level is carefully and patiently. You don't want to move too quickly. You may have to move quickly because if the labor market were to begin to deteriorate in a serious way, we would want to get ahead of that, but we're not seeing that. So I think what it tells you, as Catherine pointed out, we think that policy works with long and variable lags, to quote Milton Friedman. Monetary policy does have effects on economic activity, hiring and all that, but with long and variable lags. And that makes it all that much more difficult to know how far to go. I think in this situation, what it calls for is us to be careful, move carefully, and as we as we sort of reach the range of, or get near the plausible range of neutral levels, it may be the case that we slow the pace of what we're doing, just to increase the chances that we get this right. You know, we're navigating between, as I mentioned in my remarks, the risk that we move too quickly, the risk that we move too slowly. We want to go down the middle and get it just right so that we're providing support for the labor market, but also bringing in, enabling inflation to come down. So going a little slower, if the data let us go a little slower, that seems like the smart thing to do.
So you say that interest rates are still restrictive right now, but if you look at the CPI numbers that have came out recently, or today's PPI numbers, you know, core CPI is over 3%. I think when I looked, the 1-month rate is higher than the 3-month rate, which is, I believe, higher than the 12-month rate. The economy is booming. The market is on fire. Core PPI came in above expectations today. Business formations are up. You know, why are we cutting rates? It seems like the economy is doing pretty well.
The economy is doing very well, and that's a great thing. We totally welcome that. But look at the labor market. So what we've seen is a lot of the great data that we've seen has been because of the expanding supply side. Unemployment has moved up from 3.4 to now 4.1. By a significant number of indicators, it's still cooling. Our mandate is not for growth, it's for maximum employment and price stability. But on the inflation data, so we do see inflation continuing on that bumpy path I mentioned. Today's reading was slightly more of an upward bump than we had expected, but I would say the broader trend, if you look back over the last 18 months, we think that's still intact. We're going to tear this report apart and look at all the details. We'll get another report in December before the December meeting. We'll get another labor report. We'll get the final numbers for October by the end of this month, and we'll look at all of that, and we'll make our assessment. We do believe policy is restrictive, and again, I would point to the labor market, but you know, it's not clear how restrictive it is. That's a very fair point, and we're well aware of that, and I think we're mindful of the risk that we go too far too fast, but also of the risk that we don't go far enough. It doesn't seem like that's where we are either. It seems like we're right where we need to be. I mean, I do feel like the U.S. economy is in a very good place, and I feel like our policy is in a really good place. We've got a lot of space to cut rates if the economy weakens. In the meantime, we can take the process of reducing rates. We can be careful about that, and that's what we're planning to do.
I know we're short on time, so one last question. There has been an idea floated to announce who will succeed you as Fed chair in order to possibly exert more influence over monetary policy, a sort of shadow chair, two popes idea. Your term on the Fed's board runs until January 2028, beyond your term as chair, which ends in May 2026. Under what circumstances, if any, would you consider remaining on the Fed's board after your term as chair ends, as Mariner Eccles did for a few years after he was no longer chair?
So I would just say I'll certainly serve to the end of my chair term, and that's really all I've decided and all I'm thinking about. We're very focused just on getting the job done for the American people. That's enough of a job for us to do, and we're focused on that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chair Powell. I really appreciate it, and thank you all for attending.
Thank you, Catherine.
Oh, I guess oh, look at that, huh? Oh, that is an amazing face. Look at that. Okay, let's try this again. Nope. Okay. Maybe that works. No, it does not. All right, so that is peculiar. Anyway, just a quick little reminder. XRP doing well. Hey, actually doing pretty well. Whilst Bitcoin is going down, went below $88,000, the XRP price has not been doing too bad. Not been too bad. Let me see. How do I get this camera to come back in? Why does it do that sometimes? Why is the camera gone? I don't know, guys. Sometimes it just leaves. Literally. There we go. Okay. So I switched to USB port. Maybe it was tired of being in there for so long. Oh, this speech was so hard to keep watching, man. My eyes, we learned nothing. And that's the problem with the well, we're pumping actually. We're doing pretty well. We're coming back up. The pump is back, boys. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. And my dreams just got crushed. All right. Yeah, we came right back down. Anyway, the tangent is quite nice for XRP. I think it's time to get going, though. We've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I think it's time for a little break. Ended up on a positive note, though. Anybody who took the trade at the start is still in a positive. Do with that as you please. Somebody keeps saying that something's going to happen. Is Garninghouse going to speak to the SEC? Is that going to happen, or are you just joking in the chat? 8 minutes until Brad Garlinghouse talks about the SEC case, etc. Where is he going to speak then, my friend? Is that a real thing or no? Does anybody know? This person here in the chat says, Brad is going to speak in about 9 minutes. Ripple had a conference in about 9 minutes, huh? Does anybody know if that's true? Denzel's, this man went on live when I was on break. Now I'm finished work and it's still live. Going irate. It's only 2.5 hours, my friend. What website is this? This is YouTube, my friend. Oh, you mean maybe the chart? So if you want to trade crypto also, you can check out Blowfin. I've left a link down below. But even if you're just watching this right now, you don't want to trade right now, you don't want to check it out, just check it out afterwards. Again, a link will be always in the description so you can check out Blowfin if that's what you want to. Okay, so nobody knows where Brad is going to speak, huh? You just are saying, yes, it's true, but I can't find where or how or what. Is it going to be on Fox? Is it going to be on CNN? No, I have no idea. Where is it going to be, ladies and gents? Okay, none of y'all know, huh? You guys are a bit useless right now. I'm not going to lie, man. A little bit useless. We don't know. All right, we do not know. We won't know. We don't know. Price doing pretty okay. Not shabby, 79.06. Not doing too bad. But I can't find if or when or where Brad Garlinghouse is going to have his thing. Yeah, nowhere on the internet does it say anything about it. So we're a bit unlucky in that regard. Yeah, no, I don't think so, ladies and gents. But the price is doing well. So I think we're ending this off with on a positive note. Guys, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I think it's been enough, right? Yeah, I think so. The Powell speech took all my energy, man. This was so freaking tiresome to watch. Yeah. Anyway, I hope the price goes up. It keeps continuing to go up. We've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I think it's been enough for now. I'm tired, man. But man, wait a minute. We keep continuing on. Whoa. Okay, so what's happening right now? My MacBook is doing crazy. My camera is doing some crazy stuff. Why? Okay, you guys are annoying me now with keep saying he's going to be live, but nobody's telling me where or how. So we won't figure it out where Brett Gong is going to speak. Can't stream it for you. Can't report on it for you. So, you know what? Screw that. Guys, that was it for today's little stream. My laptop has some issues. I'm going to figure this all out. It's all good. I'm going to talk about the Gary Gensler situation on the channel in just a little bit. I really think maybe XRP is going to keep pushing through here. Could be interesting. Maybe based on the fact that Gary Gensler might resign tomorrow. Could be interesting. But just stick around the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not done it yet. Make sure also tomorrow that you are here again for another stream or another video. And of course, you can check out my Instagram, etc. But more importantly, if you're looking for a platform to trade, check out 𝗏𝗏. A link is in the description down below. You can use it on any country, anywhere in the world. So check it out. XRP is pumping because of your live. I don't think so. I hope not. But yeah, the price is looking good right now. Pretty juicy. And ever since we started, it's up roughly 2.2%, which means 23% or so profit on your trades. But yeah, that's about it, guys.